told me on the set this week, and he's the majority leader. He said, I go into these California hostile settings. That's where he's from, but he goes to other districts. And I don't care if people are mad at me. I will take the heat, but I want to do it. He encourages the president to do the same thing. The president's got a rally tonight at 8. Go to that. But maybe before you go out to the fires. And then maybe you go to a local California community. That's his idea. And he's a Republican. All right, hiring used to be hard. Multiple job sites, stacks of resumes, confusing review processes. But today, hiring can be easy. Yeah, real easy. And you only have to go to one place to get it done. You curious? I hope so. ZipRecruiter. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Brian. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, so you don't have to. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find the people with the right experience at the right time and invites them to your job. And applications come in. ZipRecruiter analyzes each one, spotlights the top candidates so you never miss a great match. ZipRecruiter is so effective, 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. With results like this, it's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the highest rated hiring site in America. And right now, my listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at this exclusive address for free. ZipRecruiter.com/Brian. That's ZipRecruiter.com/BRIAN. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
If you're retiring in the next 5 years, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with Stifel and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday from 11 till noon on FM News Talk 97.1. Retirement is a huge step, and when it comes to investing your retirement assets, you can't afford to make mistakes. It's vitally important that you work with an experienced professional to guide you through important retirement decisions. If you're retiring soon, we should meet to develop a clear plan for your retirement goals. Your meeting is an opportunity to understand your retirement situation and discuss how you can proceed. Of course, your consultation is free of charge and requires no obligation on your part. If you're retiring in the next 5 years, now is the time to start planning. To schedule your free retirement plan review, visit bobstockdale.com or call me at 636-448-7655. That's bobstockdale.com or 636-448-7655. Stifel, member FINRA, SIPC.
FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
Saying goodbye. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. John McCain's casket just arriving at a Phoenix church for Arizona's final send-off to its longtime senator after thousands paid tribute at the state capitol.
If you talk to the people who really organized this event and they knew John McCain, they will tell you that yesterday was all about paying their respects to the Arizona senator, and today really is about saying goodbye, because at 2 o'clock this afternoon, John McCain's casket will be placed onto a plane and he will leave Phoenix for the very last time.
Fox's Trace Gallagher in Phoenix. The service beginning at this hour includes a speech by former Vice President Joe Biden, a close friend for decades. Biden's son, Beau, also died from brain cancer. Senator McCain lies in state tomorrow in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. The body of Aretha Franklin arriving at the church in Detroit where she got her start as a gospel singer. Hundreds of fans gathering for today's viewing at New Bethel Baptist Church, which follows 2 days of public viewings at the Museum of African American History, where thousands turned out to pay respects. The governing body for college sports finds no violations at Michigan State University over its handling of complaints against Larry Nassar, the former sports doctor who's now in prison for sexually abusing patients. Fox's Jeff Manasso has this live.
Lisa, MSU says it received a letter this week from the NCAA that cleared the school of any rules violations in the Nassar scandal, for which officials say they've fully cooperated, though that despite former gymnasts accusing school leaders of looking the other way. Despite the resignations of MSU's former president and sports director, a $500 million settlement with hundreds of victims, and now charges that a former MSU gymnastics coach lied to police about being told of abuse dating back to the 1990s. Lisa.
Thanks, Jeff. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Wildfires burn millions of acres across the country each year. And each year, wildland firefighters battle to contain them. But they can't do it alone. For some communities, it's not a question of if wildfires strike, but when. and a single ember can travel more than 1 mile. As it twists and turns and floats through the air, that single ember can find its way to where you live and can ignite and destroy your home or your community. That single ember can be just as dangerous as the wildfire itself. You can't control where the ember will land, but you can control what happens when it does. You can take action now to prepare your home and your community for wildfire. Get fire adapted. Learn what you can do now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. Prepare, protect, prevail. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
97.1 News Time, 12:03. Good afternoon, I'm Tony Colombo. Federal prosecutors say in court filings that the U.S. Coast Guard found probable cause that the captain of a duck boat that sank in July, killing 17 people, committed misconduct, negligence, or was inattentive to his duties. The U.S. Attorney's Office also said in motions filed Wednesday the captain of a second duck boat that made it safely to shore when a storm came up on Table Rock Lake acted in a grossly negligent manner that day. A judge is now weighing arguments in a lawsuit alleging that Missouri Auditor Nicole Galloway allowed text messages to be deleted in the face of an open records request. Attorneys for the Missouri Alliance for Freedom, a conservative nonprofit, and Galloway made closing arguments Tuesday. The Cole County judge isn't expected to rule until late September or early October. This news update brought to you by Amco Ranger Pest Control, protecting what matters since 1965. Don't forget, FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Frederick Roofing, wherever you live. From Valley Park to Holly Hills, Oakville to Arnold, St. Peters to Edwardsville, wherever you live. Benton to Florissant, the name you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
St. Louis, Missouri, 314-645-2000.
Frederick is the gold standard for roofing and perhaps priced a bit lower than other bonded and insured roofers. When you invest money into fixing a hole in your roof or putting on a whole new roof, you want the peace of mind that you'll get only with Frederick Roofing. Plus, you can always depend on an immaculate cleanup when the job has been completed by Frederick's own licensed and insured crews.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Omis with Better Sleep STL. Most people are unaware that breathing disorders can affect children as well as adults. Mouth breathing and a lack of proper sleep can have negative effects on a child's development, performance in school, extracurricular activities, and social relationships. Signs and symptoms in children may include snoring or heavy breathing, difficulty falling asleep at night or staying awake during the day, ADHD-type mood behavior, recurrent ear infections, crooked teeth, and even bedwetting. The good news is there are early treatment options available to remedy pediatric sleep disorders, including permanent corrective dental treatments, allowing your child to get a better night's rest and a healthy start in their development. In addition, my office is one of just a few facilities certified in the safest, most effective treatments to naturally promote pediatric airway growth and development. For more information, please contact me today at 636-978-0226 or visit HealthyStartUSA.com to schedule your child's complimentary evaluation.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
The Annie Frey Show.
This hour brought to you by the Rick and Tracy Ellis Real Estate Team. Heard right here on 97.1, Saturdays at 9 and Sundays at 10. Visit TracyEllis.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So if he's watching this, what's your message to President Trump when it comes to climate?
Oh, my only message would be resign. I mean, I don't mean to be flippant about it.
Al Gore weighing in on the president and his position on the climate. And Al Gore wants the president to resign over climate change and his approach to climate change.
Resign.
There's always something out there.
We
Clearly.
disagree. Resign.
Absolutely. You know, there's no shortage of outrage for President Trump and anything that he does on any given day. At least I'll give Al Gore credit for talking about a policy. But then, you know, you have to press the big red button and say, eject him from the office. It's so silly. It's so ridiculous. Cuomo and Cynthia Nixon were battling it out. And it's one of those things where, because it's New York, the mass media automatically assumes that everybody cares about it as much as they care about it. They're stationed in New York, and obviously they have a very personal connection to that specific race. And listening to the two of them go back and forth, it makes your head hurt. You know, you ever started watching a sporting event and you have no personal interest in the game? You don't care about either team, especially if it's playoffs, if it's football playoffs, if it's if it's Major League Baseball playoffs, whatever it might be. And you're watching, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm actually pulling for this team. I really don't care. That's how I always know who's going to lose. When I watch a game, I don't care who's in it, and I start pulling for a team. It's like, now I'm disappointed that my team lost, that I just adopted as my team for the last hour 5 minutes ago, and then they lose, and I'm disappointed. So if you're watching this Cuomo-Nixon debate, you can't pick a team. Each one peeves you off more than the other. Listen to Cuomo here.
On immigration, nobody has stood up to Donald Trump the way I have. Literally, New York State is the state that is suing Donald Trump for ripping babies from the arms of their mother. New York State is the state that says we will not cooperate with ICE. They're a bunch of thugs.
Can we stop using ripping babies from the arms of their mothers as an analogy to what's happening in our immigration system? It's too easy. It makes me mad.
It's not true.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And you've got Andrew Cuomo up there trying to grandstand paint this horrible picture about babies being ripped from the arms of their mothers. And these two people on the stage will be the most pro-choice, pro-abortion advocates that you probably have across the country, because they're in New York and it's a Democratic debate. And obviously. So these two are going back and forth, and it's a bit of a cat fight. Cynthia Nixon.
To change the campaign finance laws, you need something called the New York State Legislature to pass it. You don't snap your fingers as governor, and it happens.
Well,
I
it will
propose
never
it
happen
every
if you
year.
empower the IDC
please, can you stop
and give the Republicans
can you please
control
stop interrupting?
of the state Senate.
Can you please do that?
If you stop lying, I will stop interrupting.
Okay, and let me.
Two things that come out of there. If that were a Republican debate, or if a Republican would have been in that debate, what Andrew Cuomo would have done to Cynthia Nixon would be sexist. Mm-hmm. Because today, anything that is done in any sort of confidence or, quote unquote, aggression towards a woman is considered sexist. And you can't speak like that to a woman, because when you walk onto the stage as a man, Andrew Cuomo, and a woman, Cynthia Nixon, you need to understand one thing if you live in the world of the progressive left, which is you have a man and a woman. You have a victimizer, you have a victim. That is supposed to be understood from the moment they walk on the stage. So when he says, would you stop interrupting, he's talking down to her. But you won't hear that because they're both on the left. Because these laws don't, these rules, these cultural norms, they don't apply to people on the left. They're only a card that is in the back pocket of the left to pull out and play on the right to remind you how sexist the right is, how misogynist the right is. So when these two go back and forth, you're not going to hear that. You might hear Cynthia Nixon try to throw something out there in an effort to try to gain a vote or two, but it doesn't. It becomes the left eating its own. So it won't be trumped up in this conversation. And then the second thing is Andrew Cuomo was telling Cynthia Nixon how the governor doesn't just get to snap their fingers and make something happen. You know what's an interesting thing about that? Cynthia Nixon is an outsider. Who else is in a high office who's an outsider, who doesn't exactly know every single process, every single, constitutional, modicum of information? The president. And if the president had said something like that in a debate, everybody would go on and on and on and talk about how uneducated he is and how dangerous it is that he thinks that he gets to just do these things because he's the president. You're not the dictator, Donald. Don't you understand that? Well, Cynthia Nixon, her approach to going in to be governor, she's making comments, she's making statements. Andrew Cuomo is busting Cynthia Nixon on the fact that she isn't an insider. But Cynthia Nixon would be the first person to ridicule this president and his, what was the phrase we heard? His uniquely unqualified. That the president has unique unqualifications to be the president of the United States. That we heard yesterday from Andrew Gillum in Florida. If you forgot, this is what he said after he won the Democratic primary in Florida for governor.
I didn't talk a whole bunch about Trump as I moved around the state. We all know that the president is uniquely unqualified for the position that he holds. He's dangerous to himself and to the country, in my opinion. But what we have talked about are everyday issues confronting people. The truth is that for the communities that we've got to motivate, the communities that we've got to move, the communities that we have to inspire, they feel like they've had it worse before Trump, and it's been bad for quite some time for them. And what they want to know is, what are you going to do for me?
Are these unique unqualifications from the president similar to Cynthia Nixon's unique unqualifications? Because as far as I know, as far as I understand what Cynthia Nixon has done, she's an actress. Mm-hmm. She was an actress in a very successful HBO series, and she was good in that series. She's not uniquely qualified for anything, that's for sure. But we're not going to hear about that in this debate because they're on the left. It's one more example of how hypocritical we are in this system right now, where the left gets to play by one set of rules and the right is always playing in the speed trap. You will get caught if you go 2 miles an hour over the limit. You will. So you can't speed. You can't break the law to any degree whatsoever, even if you didn't knowingly go 2 miles over the speed limit. You have to know what the speed limit is all the time or you will get busted. That's the reality of today. So let's go back to what Andrew Cuomo said last night about the thugs in ICE.
On immigration, nobody has stood up to Donald Trump the way I have. Literally, New York State is the state that is suing Donald Trump for ripping babies from the arms of their mother. New York State is the state that says we will not cooperate with ICE. They're a bunch of thugs.
They're a bunch of thugs. That's what the people in ICE are. You know what you actually hate, Andrew Cuomo? You actually hate the policy. And you're confusing the policy with the people who are there, who are carrying out their jobs the way that they are supposed to do it. You going to talk about New York's finest that way? Are you going to make the blanket statement about all people who are carrying out the law that is on the books and talk about those people? Because I'm telling you what, those people are voters. Those police officers, those ICE officers, they're voters. They're not thugs. They're doing their job. Former director of ICE, Holman, weighed in on this claim from Cuomo about how they're all a bunch of thugs.
And I'm not going to sit here and call him names. I did plenty of that last night under my breath. But what he's saying, his actions are disgusting. To call ICE agents thugs, think about it. These are men and women who are fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters, sons and daughters that chose to enforce laws of this country, strap a gun to the hip every day and put a Kevlar vest on to go out to the community and protect America and protect the communities. He calls them thugs. Actually, ICE arrests thugs, MS-13 members, gang members, drug traffickers. We arrested over 5,000 criminal aliens off the street in New York that many walked out of his sanctuary jails. So rather than calling them thugs, I'm not asking for anybody to give ICE agents a slack, but a little recognition of the difficult job they do every day. They put their lines on the country for this country every day. They protect New York every day. He ought to be writing a thank you letter rather than calling them names. It's ridiculous.
He's right. There is gratitude that is owed to these people who do put their lives on the line every day. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm somebody who is a police officer, if I'm married to a police officer, if my son or daughter is a police officer, and I hear somebody like Andrew Cuomo come out with comments like that, a bunch of thugs, I know it's about ICE. I know ICE is different than the police, but I bet you they feel like there's a brotherhood there. I bet you they feel like they are all in this group of people who has decided to sacrifice themselves and leave their spouse or their kids every day to put that gun on their hip and to go serve and protect that with which they have been commanded to go do. And I bet it's pretty offensive to all of those people who have made that sacrifice and continue to make the sacrifice in the face of jerks like Andrew Cuomo who want to call them a bunch of thugs in order to try to trump up some votes from people who hear the abolish ICE moniker and decide, yeah, I'm down with that. They don't know what it means to abolish ICE. You think that those people understand that if we actually abolished ICE, what we would lose when it comes to the protection of Americans who are here, who are trying to just go work their 9 to 5 and raise their 2 kids in their $200,000 home that they've worked really hard to get, send their kids to school, go pick them up from soccer practice. These people get to live that dream in the United States because there are people dressed in blue or in ICE or in Homeland Security or on Border Patrol that are willing to do that on our soil here in the United States. And Andrew Cuomo insults every single one of them when he goes out and he talks like this. And I think that the people in the United States hear that. And I think that when he goes out and says things like that, I know it's New York City. If they want to talk about how they can out-progressive one another, that's fine. You do that. You were the home of the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes of the world, Vermont, Bernie Sanders, that Northeast. You do you in the Northeast. But stay away from the rest of us in flyover country here. Let us do our politics the way we want to do. You can keep it in your state, but don't think you're going to infiltrate the presidency with that type of nonsense. Don't think you're going to try to take that legislation, your elitist mentality about how you know how to do everything better for the commoner, the dumb folks sitting in the middle of the country who just don't know what they're missing out on. It's not going to work. We're not that stupid. That's how we got President Trump. And that's why President Trump is so important to the constitutional focus that we have in the United States. Because he is somebody who has been able to be immensely successful in the face of failure in this capitalist society that we do love. And he is somebody who can go lead the United States government on behalf of the American people. Not somebody who goes into that office and acts like he knows better, that he wants to fundamentally change what it is that we do here in the United States. That hope and change is equal to a fundamental change of the United States. He's like, let's go back to where we were when we were at the heart of the Constitution. Let's go there. And that's why we like this president. And that is why we are willing to stomach so many things from this president that make us cringe. There's a lot of folks on the right side that would go cast a vote for him in 2020 that cringe. I would say at minimum on a weekly basis, maybe more for some, maybe less for others.
Yeah.
But that look at what this president has done for the United States. And when you call this show or when you talk to your friends who support the president and you go, how in the world can you support this man? That's why. Because the alternative are folks like Andrew Cuomo, who wants to call up people who are protecting our country stateside a bunch of thugs. And Donald Trump is protecting the United States from people like that. And that is what is important. We're going to talk with Corey Malone, who is in charge there at Air Comfort Services, a great sponsor of this show, great sponsor of the station. He's going to come in here and talk to us a little bit about working in a trade industry. He was in the station here a couple weeks ago, and we started talking about it and just listening to him talk about what it takes to get into a trade and how smart it is and how lucrative it can be to get into the trades. It's something we're not talking about. The left is out there talking about how everybody needs to have free education, free degrees for everybody. Let's talk about jobs and this economy right now. And Corey Malone from Air Comfort Services is going to come in and talk to us about that. And also this awesome salute to service that we are having here on 97.1. He's going to explain that too as well. So stay tuned for that and your phone calls as soon as we come back. 314-241-9797.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Dependable weather.
A pleasant start out the door this morning.
With Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray.
Brought to you by Air Comfort Service. Get 0% financing for 12 to 72 months on a new AC or HVAC system. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Summer means savage savings at Tactical in St. Peter's. Mention the code word SAVAGE for a super secret squirrel savings on things that we're not supposed to put on sale.
Did you tell them we have 511 and Oakley tactical gear?
I did not.
What's more American than a family-owned business that spans generations? Almost 50 years, STL Fence Works has been working in the industry of putting in fences and decks in the St. Louis area. That's why you can trust them, because when you last that long, when you span decades, you get to know your customer and you get to understand how you work with them, and you can provide them the best possible service that's going to keep you around for another 50 years. STL Fence Works is focused, keyed in on that uncommon level of customer service. They use superior American-made products, and they use they're installed by American craftsmen, and they put it all together for you at a price that you can afford. They have a trustworthy A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they work hard to make sure that your fence and deck purchase is as simple and pain-free as possible. They don't use high-pressure sales. They have very competitive pricing, and they also have financing available to you. If you're interested in a fence or deck for your home, fall is coming. You want to sit out on your deck with your cup of coffee and a cozy sweater. It's going to be gorgeous fall this year. Make sure you get a deck from STL Fence Works. STLFenceworks.com.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-262-2917. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-262-2917 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-262-2917 to see if you qualify. That's 800-262-2917.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you can afford to retire? Are you worried that you won't have enough income in retirement to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Are you also wondering how the stock market will affect your current retirement plans? This is Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'd like to show you the kind of income your retirement accounts can provide, whether you're retiring now or even in the next 5 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation financial review. We'll build your own personalized, structured income plan that will show you exactly the type of retirement you can count on. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my best-selling book, The Boomer's Guide to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees achieve a worry-free retirement for 31 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or visit us online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, isn't it time you stepped up your game? In the gym, in the boardroom, and especially in the bedroom. American men are getting soft. We have less testosterone than our fathers, and even less than our grandfathers. We owe it to them and ourselves to fight back. With Alpha King from Force Factor, it's never been easier. Just one small pill a day for a serious boost in total testosterone. Alpha King is on the rise at GNC, but you can claim a complimentary bottle by texting ENOUGH to 809-809. More lean muscle from your workouts, more energy to power through the day, and more passion and drive so you can rule the bedroom. It's no wonder thousands of men across America trust Alpha King to fuel their performance. Just text ENOUGH to 809-809 for your complimentary bottle, a $35 value. Respond in the next 10 minutes for your chance to also snag a bottle of SCORE, our #1 performance libido enhancer. That's ENOUGH to 809-809.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Friday, we're not monkeying around. We've got Hans von Spakovsky on the Kavanaugh hearings. We'll talk to Kayleigh McEnany, and it's Annie Friday.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
Sing my share of broken halos, folding wings that used to fly.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Broken halos that used to shine.
I interview a lot of people, a lot of college graduates. My foundation focuses very specifically on learning a skill that's in demand. And there is a real disconnect when you sit down with people today who have matriculated from a four-year institution. There's an expectation, and again, I don't really want to blame this group or that group, but the expectation is real, and the expectation is this. I want a job in my chosen field. Mm-hmm. I want that job to pay not just fairly, but well. And most interestingly, I would like that job to be in my zip code, like right now. Mm-hmm. I'm not really into this whole moving to where the work is. I was told this, that, and the other. So much of what you guys talk about in the morning, so much of the headlines, to me, if you walk it back, you can identify the disconnect that's happening in our educational system and the expectations that are leading to just a colossal confusion with regard to what is really happening out there. And somewhere at the root of it is the fiction of a safe space and this happy little hope that somehow or another we can mitigate our stress away by talking it through.
Right. Mike Rowe there, just spitting truth all over the place and talking about the expectations that have been created now for the generation that's coming into the workforce. And a lot of this comes from this idea that everything needs to be handed out to you, that there is something waiting for you on the outside of college. I remember I graduated college in 2006, and I remember my professor saying when we got out of college, there was going to be a $60,000 job waiting for us. Well, that didn't happen. And it's not a predictable circumstance. You have to be flexible. And what you get from the left often is this promise of a free education. We got out of the business of college being about producing employees. Now it's about indoctrination when it comes to college. And you get out and you don't get the job that pays you $60,000. And then you want to shake fists at the sky because you felt like you were lied to, because you were. And the truth is, there are jobs that are out there. There are lots of jobs that are out there. They do pay well, but they don't come at the end of a 4-year degree. So we brought in Corey Malone from Air Comfort Service, who's a fantastic company to go with. They are sponsor of the show. We really appreciate them. Been with 97.1 forever.
Since 08, I think.
Since 08. That's longer than me. I came in 09. So, Corey, it's great to have you in here. We were talking about, when you were at the station a week or two ago, about the business of getting in the trade. Tell me what it's like. How long does it take to work for a place like Air Comfort? How long does it have the knowledge? What do you have to pay to get that education, and what are you making in return?
Well, the thing is when these kids graduate from high school and are ripped out of their mother's arms. Sorry, that was
yeah, I got you.
Something.
Yeah,
callback from earlier.
I see what you did there.
No, it's the problem is there's a stigma out there that it's a technical. All the trades have ways to get in, whether you work your way through or you can go to some technical colleges or schools, and there's a stigma that it's just a tech school. And a lot of people don't understand that it's a 2-year degree. It's an associate's degree in many cases. And the analogy we were using that I like to use is 2 kids graduate high school. One decides to go to technical college. It takes about 2 years, and it's about $25,000-$30,000. Something like that.
It's a year at university.
Yeah, exactly. And my daughter's choosing colleges, so I've been looking at tuitions. And,
and you're like, so about HVAC.
That'll wake you up. Exactly. So they're out of school at age 20, and they have $25,000-$30,000 to pay back. But they've been working in their trade for a few years. They've been working all year if they want, because they can go to school at night. The technical colleges are very flexible. We've got some very, very good schools in St. Louis and in the metro area, and then and there's a state technical college that's ranked very, very, very high. But that person is getting out at age 20. They're making some decent money. They've been racked up a couple years in their trade.
Just shoot me a number, average, decent money.
Coming out of school, you might make $18 an hour ish.
Yeah, that's decent money.
And that's 36, something like that. But they may not be working full time. That's
a teacher salary.
Yeah, but the kid in college is working summer at $10 an hour, so they might be making $3,000 to get buy them soda money. But the big key is from the last 2 years. So the last 2 years of college, the college kids racking up $15,000-$25,000 a year. So by the time they graduate, they have no skill set. They are indoctrinated, like you said, saying you will be making this much money, and it's very rare.
And
that
a women's studies degree.
yeah,
which is going to do what for you?
Exactly. And so they get out, they're owing $60,000-$70,000, and they're lucky to find a job in their field, and that might be looking at the $25,000 a year range, something like that.
It's so upside down, and people don't understand. I remember not knowing at all what I was doing when I was going to college. Like, I literally went to my first appointment with my counselor, and that was the first time I realized I wasn't going to school all day. I was like, wait, I'm going to be done by 11 a.m. because since I was in all 8 a.m. classes. Really stupid. Didn't know what I was doing at 18.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I don't know, because someone told me that's what I was supposed to do. I was like, yeah, okay. But, I mean, you go into school, you pick a school, it's costing you tens of thousands of dollars a year. You think you know what you want to do, but you don't really necessarily know what you want to do.
Right.
And then by the time you get out, a lot of times the salary that you're going to make is it's you are upside down on your student loans.
Well, and there was a big push for lawyers a couple years ago. And by the time you finish that process and get through law school and get on with a firm, there's a flood of lawyers.
Yeah.
So the thing is with trades, no matter what trade it is, obviously I'm partial towards heating and cooling.
You should be, yes.
Yeah, but no matter what trade it is always going to be needed. Technology just trickles through, and it's not just wiring an air conditioner or soldering an air conditioner. There's some very technical things that go on with home automation and building automation, and on the commercial side, there's always something to learn. You're always going to have a job. But going back to the college thing, by the time that college kid's 30, they're still paying off their school loans. The person that went through tech school or trade college and has a job in the trades is, by the time they're 30, making a general range, $50,000 to $70,000 a year. They have a company vehicle typically, great benefits. They don't live in mom and dad's basement, and they moved out years ago because they had the money to do it.
Yeah.
They've already paid off their school, and they're further along in their career path. And the thing I thought about when we're having this conversation, I thought about it driving down today. By the time you're midway through your life, late 40s, if the economy's great and you work for a company just as outside of a trade, sales or marketing or whatever, if your company's doing well in an economy like today, there's a good chance you're going to get sold. So you may not have a job.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not doing well, there's a good chance you don't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to jump in the field with everybody else that doesn't have a skill with their, a trade skill.
Less experience, cheaper to employ.
Yeah. And it's going to be harder to find a job. Tradespeople will always have work.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And the benefits are great. It's something that you'll never lose. You never lose those skills.
Specifically for your trade, what is the job market at? Are you looking for people? Are you
Constantly. The
jobs are there.
The Department of Labor just came out with a new statistic. 110,000 heating and cooling technicians and installation people will be needed by 2020.
Whew.
That's just 2 years away. That's pretty scary. My brother's in manufacturing and tool and die people and machinists, 300,000 that they're going to need by 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That's some numbers that he told me. So in heating and cooling, it's you don't have to move. You can if you want, but you don't have to relocate. You can stay in your zip code, like Mike Rowe was talking. And there's always going to be, if you're proficient in what you do, you're always going to have somewhere to go.
Yeah. I just think it's so important to talk about that, and it's not just for heating and cooling. The trades is like, I'm wondering if when I'm 50, if I'm going to be able to go to a mechanic that's going to be able to fix my car. If the stigma continues on the way it is, and people are all going to university and not getting jobs and taking on debt, and meanwhile there could be tons of good mechanics and pipe fitters and whatever it might be that just didn't do it because maybe mom and dad said, no, you got to go to college. It's something to consider to look into these trades and if you could use your hands and you could do something, you are going to be a very valuable person throughout your career.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's always something to do. Mm-hmm. And he brought up a point that I can't remember what I was going to say now.
No, well,
it's an important point.
It's just key to understand that, like, the whole point of getting a job is to be able to provide for yourself, to be able to live independently, to provide for your family. That's the prestige that comes with a job, is to be self-sufficient. We've gotten very far away from that. The liberal studies, the women's studies degrees that we have right now, you're producing people who are going to get into the political system and just create more people who have that job. But they're not giving back to society. They're not able to go out of these degrees and do something that is going to allow them to be self-sufficient unless they become part of the system that created them. And to have a trade, to be able to get out of high school, apply yourself, and be financially sufficient and independent. It's a very valuable thing. And that's the most valuable thing to me as a mother and a wife, is to have somebody who's contributing.
Well, I belong to an organization, and we have a big push on trying to contact and get a hold of the kids in high school. And we need to get them in junior high. But the biggest thing is counselors. We contact 150 schools around and have 500 counselors that we are offering to give information to let them know that all the trades are available. A lot of I don't know how it's set up with school rankings, with going to a four-year college or whatever, but a lot of these counselors don't even realize that it's an associate's degree. So there's value out there. The parents don't have any idea.
No, they don't. They have been, the parents of the generation that's going through college right now. They were raised in you will go to college because none of their parents did that. Their parents were the greatest generation for the most part, and that's what has been ingrained in their head to the point now where they don't consider their other options. Can you stick around for another segment?
Sure, yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break here. We got a phone call I want to get to as well, 314-241-9797, and we'll talk more with Corey Malone from Air Comfort Service, and I'm going to tell you about this fantastic thing we're doing here at 971talk.com, the 971 Salute to Service, that is being made possible because of Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. We'll talk about that as soon as we come back. Stay tuned.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Angels come down.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
82 for the high this afternoon. Tonight, mainly in the 70s for any evening plans. 68 will do it for the low. Friday, just a slight risk of a spot thunderstorm. 89, still a pretty good day on Friday, but it's all about summer for the long holiday weekend. Hot and humid with a couple of pop afternoon thunderstorms. 92 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show, live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service offers residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
You spent all that money and all that time going to college, and then you get a job, or maybe you were smart and you went into the trades, and you've got all this money. Now what do you do with it? Convergent Wealth Management is the place you need to go to create a plan for yourself. If you have goals to be debt-free, if you have goals to own a boat, to pay for some grandkids' college, whatever it might be, Convergent Wealth Management is focused on values. They're going to talk to you about what you are working for, and they're going to help you get there. They're going to use their slogan, Wealth for the Way. They're very concerned about working in a values-centered atmosphere, and that benefits you greatly when you go discuss your financial plans in the future. They work with small business consultation, retirement plan setup, and they're very transparent in how everything is compensated. You can trust them. They serve clients in many states, mostly Missouri and Illinois, and they have a very high referral rate when it comes to clients because people trust them and they want their friends, their families to be in the hands of Convergent Wealth Management as well. Tell them that Annie Frey sent you, and the initial meeting will be free, and you can visit them online at convergentwm.com.
Lincoln Power Sports is your place to find all your power sports needs. ATVs, motorcycles, side-by-sides, and so much more. Number one in customer service, price savings, and never any out-the-door fees. Suzuki, Arctic Cat, Textron Off-Road, Kimco, Hustler, Echo, and Shindoa Power Products. Highly trained service and parts department. Oil and tire changes while you wait. Hassle-free sales and service. Lincoln Power Sports, located in Moscow Mills. Visit them online at lincolnpowersports.com.
14-year Missouri police detective Beth Neeland talks about protecting our families from sexual predators.
As a police detective, we fight to get the bad guys off the streets. The testing of rape kits is vital. Those kits contain evidence of a crime.
Attorney General Josh Hawley discovered the problem and is working with law enforcement and medical experts, gathering evidence to put sexual predators behind bars.
The idea that these rape kits are just sitting somewhere on a shelf is just an injustice to our victim. We need to get these rape kits tested, and I am glad that Josh Hawley is working on it.
Protect your family. Call Attorney General Hawley at 573-751-3321 and urge him to keep fighting for funding and working with law enforcement to help victims and bring sexual predators to justice. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
Get started on your home's to-do list. Is your siding cracked, faded, and rotting? Tired of putting a Band-Aid on your home? Now, through August 31st, Lakeside Exteriors is offering you 18 months interest-free financing or free entry door with the purchase of siding, soffit, and fascia. Give your home the facelift it deserves from professionals you know and trust. And call Lakeside Exteriors at 636-978-5000 or visit us at lakesideexteriors.com. Lakeside Exteriors, helping you create your dream home.
Too many seniors think they need assisted living because they walk with a walker, use a wheelchair, or forget to take their meds. This is simply not true. Here at the Villa at Riverwood, our goal is to help our residents maintain their independence. We offer a new state-of-the-art outpatient rehab clinic, in-home skilled health care services, and personal care services to help you or your loved ones stay independent. That way, you'll save money for when it's really needed. Find out more by calling 314-839-5000 or go to thevillaAtRiverwood.com.
Southern Armory has Labor Day specials on all your favorite brands. Plus, get 50% off ammunition when you buy a firearm. Buy one, get one, 50% off CCW and defensive pistol classes. Buy 30 minutes on our training simulator, get 30 minutes for free. Take advantage of Glock's Salute to Veterans. This ends this weekend. Provide your DD-214 and get exclusive pricing. See our website for more details. Southern Armory, 9901 Watson Road, 1 mile east of 270 and 44, and southernarmory.com. That's southernarmory.com.
Join 97.1 at the inaugural Vet Fest Live on Saturday, September 1st for a multi-entertainment event celebrating veterans and their families. The all-day festival in House Springs kicks off with a golf tournament, followed by live country and blues music, world-class barbecue, local sports celebrities, and a charity bike raffle from Gold Star Harley-Davidson. Plus, meet Vet Fest founder and author Mark Green and learn about the Warriors Code movement to help veterans and their families. Get details on Vet Fest Live at 971talk.com. The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
The Annie Frey Show.
This hour brought to you by the Rick and Tracy Ellis Real Estate Team. Heard right here on 97.1, Saturdays at 9 and Sundays at 10. Visit TracyEllis.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
When they gathered around and started talking, Cousin Billy would take me walking. Out through the backyard we go walking. Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man.
I don't really know what else to say that I haven't said about the safe space mentality and the unintended consequences of ignoring sensible chronology with regard to the priorities we ought to be focused on, educating the youth. All I can say at this point is that they're an easy target, and I feel like whether you call them millennials or snowflakes or whatever it is, we built the safe space. Mm-hmm. We're rolling out the anti-stress programs. We're the ones who are indulging talk of trauma, for everyday situations. I think we're the clouds from which the snowflakes fell, and at some point we have to look at each other and say, what have we done here?
Mike Rowe talking about this new generation of supposed to be workers, people who come in and make money so that the people of retirement age can stop making money. And it's just kind of an upside down industry right now. We try to produce people who are college graduates, but college graduate doesn't automatically equate employee who's making money and supporting themselves. So we're talking with Corey Malone here from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling about the trades and how people get into the trades. And it's great to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
And communicate your experience with the amount of jobs that are available to people right now in any trade industry, specifically heating and cooling, and how valuable it can be to a good life,
Sure.
a truly good, supported life.
Absolutely. And we were talking earlier about how to get into the trades, and I can obviously only speak for heating and cooling, but we have a lot of people that are interested. And what they'll do is they'll come to us and work for the summer, and we'll have them working in the warehouse, running parts, helping out in the field for, doing some things out there. We'll also let them ride along with some technicians and our installation crews, and just to see if that's something that makes sense to them. But the best, in my opinion, the best way to go is, like I said, we've got some great technical colleges out there. Southwestern Illinois College, SWIC, Rankin. There's the State Technical College, American Trade School. There's all kinds of schools out there, and they offer most of them offer some sort of financial aid. Also, there's an organization, Gateway Air Conditioning Contractors. You can contact our chapter executive. She can lead you in the right direction of if that's what you were looking to do.
Yeah.
But just talk to people. A lot of people know somebody in the trades, and just see if you can do a ride along with them or meet them at the job and just
see what it's like.
See what it's like.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be easy work all the time. But a lot of people like that. It's something
Sure.
different. In our
Not everybody is meant to sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. Most people actually aren't.
No,
I think.
and in our situation, most if not all of my technician and installation guys, they are proficient in welding, soldering, electrical, sheet metal.
Yeah.
They see different things every day, piping. So it's not like you're going to work doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And even if you are on an installation crew installing a furnace and air conditioner and you do one every day, it's going to have a different challenge each time. So it's always something a little different.
Yeah, and the fact that there are jobs readily available is key. I want to talk a little bit about this Salute to Service that we're doing. Jeff Allen, program director, is here to kind of lay the land out of what we are asking people to do at 971talk.com.
My back's a little stiff from sitting at my desk.
For 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
You stand at your desk. What are you talking about? Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling is sponsoring this and making this possible. Tell us what the listeners can do.
Well, basically, this is something we've been wanting to do as a radio station for the last couple years. And so we finally got it put together, and immediately Air Comfort stepped up and said, that's us. We'll do it. We feel really good about it. And basically, we talk a lot on this radio station about the 1%, but it's the different 1% that the general public talks about. We're talking about the 1% of the military that is, supplying 100% of the protection for the other 99% of us.
Yeah.
And we want to salute those guys. And whether you're active military or if you're a veteran, go on the website and click on Salute to Service and just enter. You just quickly put about, 100, 200 word description of your service. Or if you would like to do that for a veteran or for an active service, we would love that. And then we're going to select 4, and we're going to sit down, put them on video, shoot some video so they can tell us about their experiences. So really that the 99% of us that don't experience or serve, that we get a real feel for what these guys and gals are doing every single day. And so we'll shoot the video. We'll put the video up so everybody can appreciate that. And then at the end of this, we're all going to get together in an invite-only event at Llewellyn's Pub, which I won't divulge which one just now or the date. But we want to get these 4 veterans and their families together and just say thank you. And that is going on now. You log on to the website and nominate a veteran or active duty, and we'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, and we're really grateful to Air Comfort Service for making this possible for us to be able to do this. It requires a lot of man hours. I can tell you that the production of the videos will be top notch. So if you have a loved one in your life, my grandpa served in World War II. He was an Army topographer. He was in the Pacific Theater. He's not with us anymore. Not many of that generation are. But I know the stories that I heard from my grandpa, and if I would have had the opportunity to sit him down in front of a camera and let him tell what he was willing to share, and just, sit with him even and show the world how grateful I am for that service. I would encourage anybody who has somebody in their life who they know their story and you want other people to know their story to go to 971talk.com. I think you click on contests and it says Salute to Service right there. Yep. And we will pick some people and we will honor them. And it's all brought to you by Air Comfort Service. So Corey, thank you so much for making this possible for 97.1.
Well, it's the least we can do for everybody that's protecting us.
And I can't emphasize enough, if you know anyone who is in the service, ask the question. I had a father-in-law who was in Korea, never said a word about it. On a couple of occasions, I specifically asked him about it and was riveted for hours of his story. So these guys and gals don't say much about it unless we ask, and we are asking.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough. My grandpa wrote a book, and it was essentially a book that he wrote to my dad, and it was called, he just titled it When I Was Your Age, because he said that all the time. Well, when I was your age, it was really kind of, gruff when he said it, but he wrote When I Was Your Age, and it's the story of his life. He met my grandma in Australia during the war, married her over in Australia. She comes back to the Midwest, leaves Australia, and comes back to St. Louis, Missouri for a year before he comes home from the war, lives with her mother-in-law without her husband for a year on a farm in the center of the United States. He comes home and the rest is history. But the stories and the things that he saw, they're so important for those stories to be told and for these people to be recognized. And this is a great opportunity for folks to do that. 971talk.com. So, Corey, thank you very much for coming in and sharing this. We're going to continue to highlight this industry of the job market, because there are jobs. People, you need jobs. You need to have an education that goes into a job and an income for you and your family, and it's so important. And so we thank Corey Malone from Air Comfort Heating and Cooling. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with Tyrus, and Jeannie Ives is going to talk to us in the 2 o'clock hour about some of those house races over on the Metro East side of the Mississippi. And your phone calls, 314-241-9797. We'll be right back.
The only boy who could ever teach me.
Frederick Roofing, wherever you live from. Olivet to Ellisville to Pear and Jennings. O'Fallon to Overland, wherever you live. Maryland Heights to Manchester, the name you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
St. Louis, Missouri, 314-645-2000.
Frederick is the gold standard for roofing and perhaps priced a bit lower than other bonded and insured roofers. When you invest money into fixing a hole in your roof or putting on a whole new roof, you want the peace of mind that you'll get only with Frederick Roofing. Plus, you can always depend on an immaculate cleanup when the job has been completed by Frederick's own licensed and insured crews.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. TJ Williams from the Institute of Natural Health. I would like to invite you to tune in to our show, Wellness 101, Sundays at 3 p.m. During this exciting hour, we will be diving into the health topics that you want to know about. We will be talking about your concerns and giving real-life examples of ways people can heal and the transformations we have seen with our clients. So tune in to Wellness 101, Sundays at 3, where we will cut through the nonsense to provide you common-sense, science-based strategies for a healthy life. That's Wellness 101, Sundays at 3. And you can find us online at theinstituteofnaturalhealth.com.
Hey, this is Bird Legs from Sugar Creek Winery in Defiance, inviting you to enjoy the sunshine with us. We are open every day from 11 to 6. Our live music is every Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5, rain or shine. We offer wood fire brick oven pizza 2 weekends a month. Check our website for exact dates, sugarcreekwines.com. We'll help you plan the perfect wedding, graduation, or birthday celebration. That's sugarcreekwines.com.
Our military service members volunteer to protect us in the most dangerous places around the world. They step up. And when they are severely ill or injured, returning to their families is only the beginning of their long road home. Beyond all the hospitals and doctors and surgeries they need just to survive, they also deserve whatever they need to truly live. All the in-home care and day-to-day help they need to live independently, on their own terms. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs were established to provide these brave men and women whatever they need to continue their fight for independence, at no cost, for life. So many of them need us, and it's time for a grateful nation to step up. Find out how you can do your part at findwwp.org.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1,
a radio.com station.
A mixture of laughter and tears. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. As Arizona bids its final farewell to Senator John McCain, a memorial service underway. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal with more live.
Lisa, John McCain's casket was taken from Arizona's capital to the North Phoenix Baptist Church, which is filled with people from members of the public to McCain's family to colleagues and politicians. Former Arizona Attorney General Grant Woods had the church crowd laughing with stories of McCain's witty sense of humor.
He would want us to, okay, we recognize him now, but now let's get to work. And I'm sure the Vice President will talk about John and bipartisanship, but he believes so much that this, in the end, when it's all said and done, this Republican-Democrat thing's not that important, is it? We're all Americans.
Later today, McCain's body will be flown to Washington, D.C. to lie in state at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda tomorrow, Lisa.
Thanks, Jessica. Former Vice President Joe Biden moments ago at the service saying tearfully that he thought of McCain as a brother. Pay raises for many civilian federal workers due to take effect in January are being scrapped. President Trump citing the cost, telling Congress in a letter today that federal agency budgets can't sustain such increases. Democrats have criticized the president for the cost of his tax cuts. The UN's nuclear watchdog says Iran is still keeping up its end of the 2015 nuclear nuclear deal, even after the U.S. withdrawal from it in May.
The International Atomic Energy Agency saying its inspectors had access to all the sites they needed to visit. The report says Iran's stockpiles of low-enriched uranium have slightly increased since the last report in May, but that they are still under the limits agreed in the deal.
Fox's Simon Owen in London. President Trump called the deal a disaster in part because it didn't address any of Iran's other aggressive behaviors. After he pulled out of the agreement, U.S. sanctions were reimposed. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Listen, my life changed because someone was there to get me to use drugs. No one can understand. Whether or not they've struggled with addiction themselves, people seem to think that having someone who will listen is gonna help make it better. I'm realizing that I need help.
I'm listening.
I need help. I'm realizing that I think that having someone who will listen is going to help make it better. Whether or not they've struggled with addiction themselves, people seem to understand. No one can get me to use drugs. My life changed because someone was there to listen.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
97.1 News Time 103. Good afternoon. I'm Tony Colombo. A Christopher Columbus statue in a St. Louis park is being called into question about a year after a Confederate monument was removed from another park in the city. A commission will review whether the 130-year-old statue belongs in Tower Grove Park. David Lauber, the park's director of development, says the panel will include historians, art experts, and representatives of Italian Americans and Native Americans in St. Louis. Authorities say a body found in the Mississippi River by barge workers was that of a 22-year-old man. The St. Louis Medical Examiner's Office identified the man as Shelby Davis. The St. Louis Fire Department had worked with divers and boats with sonar equipment to search the water after surveillance cameras showed a car driving into the river. This news update brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Sign you have the very best in fences, decks, patios, and sunrooms. Don't forget, FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Get ready for Diamonds Direct's most incredible offer ever. Starting this Saturday, get the guaranteed lowest price, pay zero down, and get zero interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, 5 years, zero interest on any purchase. So a $6,000 engagement ring is yours for as low as $100 a month. Don't miss this spectacular buying opportunity. Everything's included, and you can finance up to 100% of the purchase, including the tax. It starts this Saturday, only at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit, get details and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
I can't believe what Diamonds Direct is doing starting this Saturday. For a limited time on any purchase, you can get 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down. You heard that right. Buy now, get the guaranteed best price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 5 years without a dime in interest. So a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $50 a month, and everything's included from engagement rings to all designer jewelry. The best offer ever, starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit, details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, Tim Jones here from my guys at Universal Windows Direct. It is time to take care of all those drafty, chipped, foggy windows and call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Their patented foam super spacer technology created by NASA creates a better seal than traditional metal spacers. Your windows will last longer and you'll save money on your energy bills. These new windows will make your home more beautiful. Every window is custom made for your home. From wood trim to premium vinyl, the added security of cam style locks. It's like looking at a brand new home, all backed up by the true lifetime warranty. You're covered for as long as you own your home, 30 years to the next homeowner. That makes Universal Windows Direct windows the last ones you'll ever need. Stop suffering with drafty, chipped windows. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. For every window you buy, the next one's free. There's no limits to that. 0% financing for 36 months. Free installation, all backed up with the true lifetime warranty. As long as you own your home, 30 years to the next homeowner. How can you beat that? Call to schedule your free in-home estimate today, 314-878-0300. Go to universalwindowsstlouis.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Vacation season. Preparing yourself for a week or two of family-filled fun adventures. You gas up the car, set the cruise control, and listen to your favorite jams on the way to see the grandkids. But what about the ultimate vacation? Retirement. That lasts a lot longer than a couple of weeks, and that takes comprehensive, detailed planning. That's where Heisey Advisory Group comes in. We strive to help you build a plan to ensure you can keep loading up the little people and hit the open road throughout the years of your retirement. If you want the ultimate retirement, call Heisey Advisory Group today at 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400. Make sure your life's work is put to work for you with a custom retirement portfolio. Call 314-328-4400.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AEWM and Heisey Advisory Group are not affiliated companies.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on a Saturday, and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Hey, Mike, what about this?
Sure.
Florida State University is starting a new program because college kids these days are so stressed out. You've got to take part in an anti-stress program unless you're really stressed out, and they're going to say, you know what, you don't have to take it because you're too stressed.
You can opt out of a stress program if it causes anxiety?
Yes,
that is
like
correct. Yeah.
It's getting weird, guys. You know, I mean,
it's getting weird, guys.
It's getting weird.
Mike Rowe, again, it's so funny to listen to people who think rationally, digest this information. They're having like required anti-stress classes for college kids, and you can opt, if you're too stressed, you can opt out of the stress course. What? It is getting weird. I don't even understand the cyclical nature of that.
Also, what are you stressed out about in college? Like, after you get out of college, then you should have some kind of class.
You are correct. Whatever you're stressing about in college, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
I hate to break this to you, but as somebody who has gone to high school, gone to college, not known what the heck I was doing going into college, I went into college thinking, you know what I want to do? I want to be a sports reporter. A sideline sports reporter. I love sports. I played 4 sports through high school. I was an average to above average athlete in that realm. Probably more average. But I love sports, and I love watching sports. I'm a huge baseball fan. I was a huge Rams fan. NFL. But I loved it. And that's what I thought I wanted to do. It occurred to me about 2 years into getting a TV radio degree that the reason I like sports is because that's how I relax. Watching sports is relaxing for me. And, okay, if you make that your job, you are now working nights, you are now working weekends, and if you want to have a family and coexist with that family, you can't do that. So I realized that halfway through, fell into radio, and here I am today. However, when you get out of college, and there's no set schedule for your life anymore. If you're fortunate enough to get a job, now you've got to make sure you can pay the bills. Now you got to make sure you can pay the rent. You got to make sure you can support the people in your life. It becomes a normal level of stress and anxiety that you face on a constant basis. And being an adult is learning how to respond to that. And people grow to meet that level of stress and anxiety at different times. Katie, you are newly married.
Mm-hmm.
You are, don't say that yet.
I'm saying who because I think that I know that was stressful.
Yes.
Weddings are very stressful.
But marriage is more stressful than weddings. It just is. I mean, Tony, you're married. I'm married. Marriages aren't like the wedding and the honeymoon. There's a
everlasting.
What were we talking about yesterday? You said that your husband ate your adult Lunchable, and I say
David,
adult
if you're
Lunchable
listening.
because. Sorry, David, we're outing you.
If you're listening, David, don't eat those Lunchables.
Katie eats for lunch every day like a fancy Lunchable, which is basically a Lunchable that doesn't say Lunchable.
Yes, it's Hillshire.
Katie said that her husband maybe ate one of those, and she came home and she's like, "Where's my adult Lunchable?"
So
and I
good.
said, "Just
She said
wait."
he stole it, all right?
Yes.
Stole it.
He did.
She's pretty aggressive about it. You could tell it wasn't like a game changer in the day, but it was a little chafed about it. And what I told her, I said, just wait until he steals your Lunchable and it's the Lunchable that broke the camel's back, because you're mad about something and he's mad about something and there's something agitated, and then you're fighting about a Lunchable, but you're actually not fighting about a Lunchable.
Something, yeah, really deep inside.
The Lunchable is what makes the floodgates open, and there it is, and you're like, why are we fighting about a Lunchable? And then you realize you're not. That's marriage. It's stressful. It is not predictable. There isn't this like school is so hard and you're soldiering through school and you get to the final point where it's graduation day and then you get to go through this super secret door where all the stresses go away. It isn't like that.
It's uncertainty. We used to look at uncertainty as this thing that was similar to variety, right? It's like, I don't know what's going to happen next. And so, whether you're reading a book or watching a movie or taking a trip, not knowing what's around the corner used to be part of the fun of it. Now it's stress-inducing and heavy with potential trauma, right? So that's I'm not a social anthropologist or a shrink, but that strikes me as something that's really fundamental. We've arbitraged the fun out of uncertainty.
And it's so true. And you know who's responsible for this? The people who are constantly telling you that in every other civilized country, people have this and they have that and they have the other thing. That you are supposed to just be given these things so that you don't have to worry about them. What they don't tell you is that when you are provided those things, you're provided a version of those things. There's nothing the government's going to hand you that's going to be the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And the truth is that whenever the government does start handing out something new, there's still going to be a better version of that thing that a certain group of people is going to be able to access, is going to be able to afford, and you're still not. So you're going to now have a version of said thing, and somebody else out there is going to have a better version of it, and those same people are going to use that scenario to talk to you about how life isn't fair. Because life isn't fair. We don't have equal outcome in this country. We don't want equal outcome in this country. We want equal opportunity. You look at the feminist movement, you look at the way the women's movement came in and it got women the opportunity to vote, and it gave me the opportunity to come on here while I'm competing with another, say middle-aged white guy who's talking about conservative politics. And here I am, a 34-year-old mother of three, millennial, talking to you about my conservative politics. Thank you, women's movement, for making this a possibility. But what I don't need to have happen is for my daughter to now think that because she is a female, she is A, a victim, and B, entitled to something simply because she's a female. Mm-hmm. Because by doing that, that makes my son a victimizer, and he is now guilty of something by virtue of his gender. We have swung the pendulum so far over to the other side, where we are defining things by demographics. That's what the women's movement tried to stop. That's what the civil rights movement tried to stop. And here we are in this country, and just like Mike Rowe is saying there, we don't want any uncertainty for anybody anymore. And the real truth lies in the fact that it's not uncertainty that the talking heads are trying to remove. What they are trying to add is a reliance on someone to provide certainty. And there are a lot of things certain in life, like, say, death and taxes. And if you're in the state of Illinois, being taxed to death. There are a lot of things that are certain, but just by virtue of being certain doesn't make it inherently good. So the people who are trying to provide a level of certainty, a reliance, these are people who will talk to you and talk about how it's in every country, in every civilized country, they have 6 months of paid family leave, parent leave, or they have free health care, or look at these countries that are in Europe and they have education for all. Look at Canada, they have health care for all. We're not every other country. That's what makes us awesome. That's what's so good about what we're doing here in the United States is we are different. All of those things are available to everyone. The opportunity is there. But we still need to work very hard to make sure that we don't squash people in an effort to elevate others. And then when you get somebody, a talking head that comes up and tries to tell you that in an effort to provide something for you, that you deserve it, that you are entitled to it, they don't talk about how it's going to be provided. The truth is that if you are to ever be as successful as you hope to be in life, which doesn't have to mean wealthy, self-sufficient is the American dream, because that's independence. That is what makes us special, because we don't have to rely on a certainty from an elitist government power where you have a consolidation of provision from a government entity. And the folks that are, we talked about the Andrew Cuomo, Cynthia Nixon bickering that took place in that debate yesterday. They can't out-left each other anymore if they tried. The truth is that neither one of those people understands you. Neither one of those people thinks that you are actually capable of providing for yourself. What they think is that if they happen to be elected to office, they will now swoop in and save the day for you. And what they don't understand is a lot of us aren't asking for a savior in government. A lot of us are saying, I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. A little less of that and a little more trust in me, the person who's going to work, trying to find a job, maybe thinking I was going to go to college. Maybe you got a college degree and you don't have a job, and now you're thinking about going into heating and cooling. After we talked to Corey Malone from Air Comfort Service, and he's talking about how lucrative and how actually commendable, not my words, working in a trade can be, because you do not come out with a lot of debt. You can come out with an associate's degree, you have minimal debt, and you have a fantastic starting salary that only builds as time goes by. This is the way we can provide for ourselves. But what you get from the left is free education. Everybody should be entitled to a college degree. What for? Why are we pooling public money to pay for free college education when we have tons of people who are underemployed when they get out of college and have been historically? We're blessed to have right now a booming economy, but there are still a lot of people, say my age, who graduated in the mid-2000s, the economy bottomed out, and they had to go back to school to get a different degree so they could get a different job. What if we were funneling these people towards trades? What if we were elevating the trade industry in an effort to show how valuable it is to provide for yourself, instead of asking the question, why don't we have free education for everybody? That's what the left is always doing. They're always trying to point out to you about how you've been a victim of something, because when they establish you as the victim, they get to be your savior. They never take into consideration at all the possibility that we can save ourselves. And even if it's hard at sometimes, the reward at the end is definitely worth it. We are allowed to fail and recover in this country because we don't have a certainty from the government, which is a limited level of success. And that's what's key. Coming up next, we're going to be visited by Erica Weston. You've seen her watching those Cardinals games. She is the on-field reporter, what I thought I used to want to do. She was my dream job, and she's going to be in the studio. I'm so excited to talk to Erica Weston. These Cardinals are out of control, and it's fun to watch. So we're going to talk to Erica coming up next. And the last segment here of the hour, we're going to take phone calls, 314-241-9797. Jeannie Ives in the 2 o'clock hour is going to talk to us about a lot of these House races that she's working with to try to diminish the power of Mike Madigan, who, contrary to what you might have heard before, is not her best friend. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Take us with you and never miss the news and opinion from 97.1. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Summer means savage savings at Tactical in St. Peter's. Mention the code word SAVAGE for a super secret squirrel savings on things that we're not supposed to put on sale.
Did you tell them we have 511 and Oakley tactical gear?
I did not.
The folks at Dentistry with TLC are so fantastic when it comes to the care of your dental needs. Dr. Anna Smith is very invested in the CPAP world, and she has these oral appliances that go into your mouth, and they help you from suffering from sleep apnea. And she's had so much success with this. She has a website you can go to, cpapsucks.com. She just made the rounds and did some seminars on this. But I want you to check her out. If you or if your loved one, if you're laying in bed and your husband or your wife is snoring a lot and they're having trouble sleeping, they're not getting the rest that they need, and you're constantly elbowing on, hey, come on, you're snoring. If you are having this problem, get a hold of Dr. Anna Smith at Dentistry with TLC. You can also call or text them at 618-466-0733. It's 618-466-0733. Or visit them anytime online at cpapsucks.com or also dentistrywithtlc.com. Give them a call, give them a text. Go visit Dr. Anna Smith at Dentistry with TLC and tell them Annie Frey sent you.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-262-2917. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-262-2917 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-262-2917 to see if you qualify. That's 800-262-2917.
Summertime is the best time for adventure. Time to set the standard, blaze the trail, and go above and beyond. Because nothing beats the luxury and capability of a Land Rover, capable of taking you on a summer adventure you'll never forget. Right now at Land Rover St. Louis, save $19,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 Land Rover Range Rover Sport Supercharged V8. Your summer adventure awaits at Land Rover St. Louis, a Plaza Motor Company on Olive Boulevard in Creve Coeur and online at LandRoverSt.Louis.com. MSRP $90,716.
Dear beloved home, you've always been there for us, our haven for life's special moments. From our kids playing in the bathtub when they were little, to teaching our son how to shave for the very first time. But now, we have 3 teenagers, and it's created quite the traffic jam getting ready in the morning. You don't quite work the way you did when they were little. We didn't want to cut corners because you and our family deserve it to be done right. So we contacted Mosby Building Arts about Right Bath to help transform you to what we needed you to be for us today. Right Bath by Mosby gave us a wide variety of design choices, all in the latest styles to reflect our tastes, followed by caring and efficient craftspeople. Thank you, Right Bath, for helping us bring an end to the daily bathroom wars, and for helping us love our home again for years to come.
With Right Bath by Mosby Building Arts, you'll fall in love with your home all over again. Call 909-1820 or visit rightbath.com. Right Bath by Mosby. Home never felt so good.
Stay in touch and up to date with the 97.1 newsletter, delivered straight to your inbox. Become a 97.1 Insider and you can receive our weekly newsletter, local and national breaking news alerts, plus exclusive offers from 97.1 advertisers. Don't miss out. Sign up now at 971talk.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back. We've been following the Cardinals now, especially the second half of the season. It's been a little more exciting than maybe the first. But joining us now in studio is Erica Weston with Fox Sports Midwest.
Hello.
Erica, thanks for coming in.
Of course. Happy to be here with you guys.
I don't want this to be creepy, but I watch you every night.
Kind of the story of my life.
creepy at all.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I saw you last week on TV. Great. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. It's not weird at all.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you kind of get used to it, but it's still a little weird every time, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like seeing a dog walk on its hind legs. So seeing people in the box on TV all the time in person.
It's
kind
a
of
little
funny.
surreal.
Yeah.
So you have been with Fox Sports Midwest, and we've seen you now with the Cardinals.
Yes.
You're going to be covering the Blues as well. How long have you been with Fox Sports Midwest?
So I got here at the beginning of June, right before everything kind of flipped upside down and got a little crazy. So it's been quite the season and the adjustment for me. But baseball is my first love, so just getting thrown in here, especially with a team like the Cardinals, has been an absolute dream come true.
So tell me how you got to the Cardinals, because not many people have it fall in their lap where they're like, oh, I'll just take on the St. Louis Cardinals. This is my first gig. Where'd you come from?
So I came to St. Louis from Arizona. I was with the ABC affiliate in Tucson down there, and ironically enough, a guy that I worked with down in Tucson used to be with Fox Sports Midwest for a very, very long time. I'm sure people know him, Pat Paris.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we worked together. So it's kind of funny when this opportunity kind of came up, and I picked his brain, and he told me a little bit about it. So we essentially just kind of switched jobs. But I was there for about 19 months before I took the job here in St. Louis. And of course, it's jobs like these are all merit-based, obviously, but it's all about who you know. And I had a really great connection that knew there was an opening, and of course you have to go through the process and make sure you're the right fit and everything. But it happened very quickly and all slowly at the same time. That's generally how those work out.
So what's it like being in St. Louis? You said you grew up in LA, is that right? Or you're from LA also?
I kind of bounced around. Yeah. It's kind of funny.
St. Louis is a little unique place, I would think, compared to those other places.
It absolutely is. People ask me, where are you from? And I'm like, do you have 15 minutes? Because it's a very long question, to answer. Yeah. So I was born in Sacramento in California, but I grew up in Denver, about 30 minutes south of the city. So technically for my brother and I, that is considered home for us. But growing up in Colorado, I love it. I miss it every day. I did want to go back to California, so that's where I graduated from Loyola Marymount there. That's where I got my feet wet in sports reporting and broadcast and all of that good stuff. And started out with an internship at the CBS affiliate there. I helped launch the new Lakers and Dodgers cable networks, their regional cable networks, which is essentially the same thing as Fox Sports Midwest. It's just under a different umbrella. Did a lot of smaller reporting jobs, kind of got my feet wet there before I took the job in Arizona. Then I ended up here in St. Louis. So I'm very much a West Coast girl. So being here in the Midwest is very new and interesting and unique. But
welcome. We're real friendly.
You guys are. And that was something my mom helped me move out here. And that was one of the things we noticed when we got here is how welcoming and how kind everybody is. So it's been great.
So when people ask you back home, whichever home that is. Yeah. So what's St. Louis like? What do you tell them?
I tell them it's humid and it rains a lot. I mean, I spent almost 2 years in the desert. I didn't see a drop of rain except for, the month of July.
We're hogging it all here in the
absolutely.
summer.
It's all here, right in St. Louis. Yeah, they go through monsoon season in Arizona. It's like, the rain, there's wet stuff falling from the sky. It's absolutely hysterical. But I tell them the people are kind. They love their sports teams. And wow, I was amazed at how good the food was here. I did not know all the good food that St. Louis has to offer.
I think St. Louisans really take that for granted because St. Louis is a pretty big small town. And a lot of people who are here have been here generationally. And we do have great food. And we just had the PGA in town.
Absolutely.
And that was one of the things that people reacted. They're like, the food is amazing.
It's so good.
And we're just kind of, I guess, take it for granted.
I had no idea this whole area called the Hill existed with all this incredible Italian.
Yes.
If I were to be born in another life, I swear I would have been an Italian. My best friend is Italian, so she was very excited to hear this. Her family's from Croatia, so they have all of those kinds of influences in their life. So I was really excited. I'm like, you have to come visit. You have to see all this great food we have
And we will
here.
eat.
Absolutely, yes.
That's fantastic. So the Cardinals have had quite an uptick here since the All-Star break, and it's it's pretty shocking to watch. We're all kind of looking at each other going, well, I don't know if we even really want to talk about it. Like it's like talking about a no-hitter in the seventh inning. You don't want to do it because you don't want to be the one who blows it for the team. What's it like around these players, being able to be with them in this atmosphere right now?
Well, I came into a pretty unique and interesting time with the Cardinals because, the team has obviously been struggling. They were not playing up to their potential. Obviously, the voice was lost with the clubhouse with the former manager. So it was really kind of uncomfortable for me to come in there because you're coming into a situation where tensions are running high.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals fans and the front office and the team in general, they expect greatness. They're very spoiled. They have 11 world championships. They expect a World Series at the end of the year, or if not to win one, to at least be there. So I understand that they're very spoiled. So it was interesting coming into that situation and trying to build relationships with the coaches and the managers and the players, because things are not easy. And when you're losing, things are very tough. But they say, winning cures all, and obviously things have turned around a complete 180 from when I first got here. It's been incredible. And the guys are very professional, very easy to get along with, and I'm sure that speaks to, the Cardinal way and that whole mantra with St. Louis sports franchises and the DeWitt family and how they run things. But it's been absolutely wonderful. I can't say enough good things about Mike Shildt, and I'm just so thrilled for this opportunity for him.
Yeah, it was exciting news to kind of have a period at the end of that sentence when they decided to go with him. Everybody was going like, if you don't go with Shildt, who are you going to, what do you expect from the person you're going to put in that position? What do you know about the man, Mike Shildt, just being able to be there and talk to him on a human-to-human level?
Well, I didn't know much about him, obviously, coming in here, because he's kind of one of those guys that likes to, stay in the background, and that's how he kind of operates. Of course, all of the success that the team is having right now, he's not going to credit any of that to himself. He credits that to the guys that are out on the field and playing well, the coaches that are doing their job. It's all about, people stepping up to the plate and doing their job. That's all that he wants. He puts the people in the right positions to succeed, and he's just an incredible human being. He's incredibly accessible. He's kind. He'll give you an answer no matter what the question is. He'll explain it to you even if it might have gone wrong during the game. He's incredibly transparent, and there was this whole big question when they took the interim tag off of his title the other day. Well, why now? And it's like, well, what else what are you going to be looking for? I know the Joe Girardi name is the unique pick, and it's the sexy pick, if you will. It's the big name.
It's the name,
It's the name, but that's kind of more of what you had. You had the big name, but maybe you don't. And of course the whole, well, he's never played professional baseball. It doesn't matter anymore. I think we could see this as a trend moving forward, that you worked your way up through the system. You started in a very small and limited role. Why is that the exception? It should be the rule now, and I think he's proving that.
There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions that didn't play professional baseball.
Absolutely. People in sports with opinions? No way.
Yeah, it keeps the checks coming in, I'm sure, for a lot of people in the industry. So the question that you probably have been asked before, but I'm going to ask it because I want to know, have you tried the salsa? Have you had Matt Carpenter salsa?
I have not tried the salsa.
Why not?
I don't know.
You could be taken to new heights or something.
I think
it's a pretty impressive.
Honestly, I think they're hogging it all.
They need to just keep doing what they're doing.
Just keep eating the salsa. He had an incredible last game in Denver. He had 4 doubles. 2 of them came in the first inning. Just keep double dipping the salsa. I don't need any. They can take all the salsa they want.
I was at an event last night, and I got home late, and my husband told me that he threw up at first base yesterday.
He did get a little sick. I didn't see it. I wasn't at the game last night. I was watching on the
Lucky
telecast.
You.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but we knew immediately that something had happened. Hopefully it's not salsa related.
Yeah, that would be a bad ending to that story. Yeah, I
untimely for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we look forward to watching you during the Cardinals games. It's always great to tune in and see you. I love seeing another friendly female face out there talking about sports or news or whatever it might be, and we're really honored to have you come in here and just share some of the insider stuff with us.
Absolutely, anytime.
Well, people can follow Erica Weston at Erica L. Weston. That's WESTON on Twitter. I encourage you to check her out there and keep up with the updates.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you to Erica Weston with Fox Sports Midwest. She will be covering the Blues as well, so hopefully we can keep in contact with you and Stay on the news cycle.
I'll be here.
That's fantastic. All right, we'll take a quick break here and some phone calls as soon as we come back. 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or 866-455-9797. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
82 for the high this afternoon. Tonight, mainly in the 70s for any evening plans. 68 will do it for the low. Friday, just a slight risk of a spot thunderstorm. 89, still a pretty good day on Friday, but it's all about summer for the long holiday weekend. Hot and humid with a couple of pop afternoon thunderstorms. 92 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show, live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. A portion of every HVAC installation goes to Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up today at gslhonorflight.org. And for free HVAC estimates, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Ethanol is vital to rural America. Farm families are facing the sharpest economic decline in generations, and trade barriers are rising, creating uncertainty. Allowing year-round sales of E15 will provide some relief to farmers now by expanding demand in the U.S. Here's Doug Stanek, an Iowa family farmer, on the importance of ethanol.
I live in Webster County, Iowa. This land's been in the family over a century. We're producing a product that is good for the environment. Ethanol is great for the country and for family farms.
Unfortunately, outdated federal regulations prevent many gas stations from selling E15 during the summer. President Trump has called these regulations unnecessary and ridiculous. He's right. It's time for the EPA to honor President Trump's commitment to year-round E15. America's farmers agree.
I hope President Trump sees this through and continues with promoting E15.
Mr. President, America's farmers are counting on you. Paid for by Growth Energy.
If you're retiring in the next 5 years, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with Stifel and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday from 11 till noon on FM News Talk 97.1. Retirement is a huge step, and when it comes to investing your retirement assets, you can't afford to make mistakes. It's vitally important that you work with an experienced professional to guide you through important retirement decisions. If you're retiring soon, we should meet to develop a clear plan for your retirement goals. Your meeting is an opportunity to understand your retirement situation and discuss how you can proceed. Of course, your consultation is free of charge and requires no obligation on your part. If you're retiring in the next 5 years, now is the time to start planning. To schedule your free retirement plan review, visit bobstockdale.com or call me at 636-448-7655. That's bobstockdale.com or 636-448-7655. Stifel, member FINRA, SIPC, and NYSE.
When the kettle whistles like that, it means it's, done.
Oh, right.
You've got that 1,000-yard stare. At 1 a.m, what gives?
It's Medicare. I need to pick a plan.
I get it. You used to have an HR person for this sort of stuff.
Exactly. And now...
You're the HR person.
I don't want to be the HR person.
You don't have to be if you pick Anthem Medicare. With their shopping tool, you just answer 8 simple questions to find a plan that's best for you.
Are they actually simple?
Yeah, no PhD necessary.
Sounds good.
Now, what are we drinking? A little passion flower action, what?
Whatever my wife buys.
Not a tea guy. Got it. Go to bed.
For all the things that keep you up at night, Anthem Medicare has a solution, like their simplified online Medicare shopping tool. 8 simple questions to find a plan that's best for you. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Rest easy. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Right Choice Managed Care, Inc., Healthy Alliance Life Insurance Company, and HMO Missouri, Inc. Anthem is a Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Anthem depends on contract renewal.
You know, some people have been living in their homes for decades. And you get to the point where that initial siding that was put on your house, maybe when you bought it and you were in your 20s or early 30s, now it's time to revamp your house. The siding is worn, it's dingy. You want to make your house the shining star in the street. And the best way to do that is with that gorgeous James Hardie fiber cement siding, and to have it done by Banner Construction. Now, the reason you're going to choose Banner Construction to put this James Hardie fiber cement siding on your home is because Banner Construction is the elite preferred James Hardie contractor. If you're going to make an investment like this in your home and you want it to look the absolute best, you want it to be done right the first time, Banner Construction, being that elite preferred contractor, they have the expertise to properly install this investment into your home to make sure that you are going to be absolutely satisfied with the look of it and the quality of the work that is done. Don't put it off another day. If it's time for you to check out the James Hardie fiber cement siding, you got to go to Banner Construction for the best, because they are the best. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. That's 314-569-1050, and have a banner day.
Dave Glover.
The shooting in Jacksonville, there's nowhere I can think of, not a church, not a mall, not a sporting event, not in your own home, that you're safe.
Dave Glover. Weekdays at 3 on FM News Talk 97.1.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app. Available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast on demand and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
So when I hear this song, we're discussing this. I think it's Pepsi. I think this was a Pepsi commercial in the 80s. That's what I think, that in the music video, which was
with all the girls with the makeup.
Robert Palmer. They were like totally masculinized in the way they were dressed, but obviously it was sexy, I guess. But I mean, like, it was really like the really straight faced, not smiling, like very subtle
Serious
movements and dances. It wasn't like, I don't know. It was not like the rest of the 80s.
It was like suit coats and mini skirts is what they had on.
And then the background was bright or something. Robert Palmer. Did he do multiple music videos like that? That was like the Robert Palmer Girls was like a thing.
Yep.
And then I think it was Pepsi.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think it was like the Pepsi cans that maybe the ones that they're making right now, you would know. You like
I'm a big Pepsi guy.
Own the company with the amount of Pepsi that you drink. The circle with the lines.
It is a Pepsi commercial.
It is?
Yep.
Yeah. Robert Palmer. There's nothing more 80s to me than Robert Palmer. It's just very right down the lane of the 80s. It's pretty cool to have Erica Weston in. Again, you can follow her on Twitter at Erica L. Weston, Weston, for those Cardinals updates and Blues updates. She's with Fox Sports Midwest. And if you liked hearing her on the show, give her a tweet. Tell her thanks for coming on our show. So we're going to try to stay in contact with her and get those updates maybe on a weekly basis or whatever we can work into her schedule. Because it's good. It's good. I just love sports. So
And she's great. My goodness.
Very knowledgeable. We've been talking a lot about the economy right now is booming. They said yesterday that the economy is up to like 4.2% GDP growth, which was higher than they had initially predicted it. So you'd think everything is hunky-dory, but the trade jobs right now, when you look at the idea of getting out of high school, what do you do next? It's unheard of to not think that you're going to go to college. Like that's the norm of what people did. I guess maybe 30 years ago, college was still like a maybe I do, maybe I don't thing. But the trade industry now has suffered from this idea. When we were talking with Corey Malone from Air Comfort Service earlier in the show, which I'd really encourage you, if you've ever thought about getting into a trade yourself, or if you are thinking about it for your kid, or if your kid doesn't even know about it and they're good with their hands, check out that interview at 971talk.com, because they need people. They're like looking for people to put in jobs. Whereas you can get a 2-year associate's degree and a job that's going to turn into a lengthy career, or you can go to a 4-year college and hope that whatever job you started 4 years earlier is still in demand or even there at the end of your college degree. I was telling the story about a college professor that I had, I think it was my junior year, and I went for 4 years plus a summer semester. I took my final summer semester was media law and basketball. Those are the 2 classes that I took because I needed 5 credit hours, and media law I obviously had to take, and basketball was 2 credits. So there you go. But I was told, I think in my junior year, that people would be lining up with jobs that paid $60,000 if you learned how to, the job was, we were learning Dreamweaver, which is an Adobe software product that at the time was used to build websites. This is a class that I took in college, and I actually worked in the digital department for 97.1 for almost a decade. And I think 2 of those years I used Dreamweaver, and the rest of the time it was obsolete. It's crazy, the confidence, and I don't know if it's exactly the same now. I don't think that people are necessarily making those types of promises to kids, but you send your child to school. I hear this all the time. You send your kid to school, and they are an apathetic, at best, maybe a bit of a conservative lean if that's the way your home is. And they come out and they're social justice warriors. They're very progressive in their way of thinking. And it's like, what happened? You pay tens of thousands of dollars to turn your politically apathetic student who you thought was going to come out with a $45,000 a year career to start with, possibly. And they come back and they're like, a liberal studies graduate, and they are looking to do sit-ins for something, and they want to know.
Yeah, so different than you initially start your freshman year thinking, I'm coming to college for this job. And the focus changes so much when you become a senior and you're getting out of there. And now you're doing all of these things socially, but nothing for yourself for a paycheck.
Yeah. I want to take a quick phone call here, 314-241-9797 if you'd like to join the show. Chris, thanks for calling in.
Hello. Glad you're feeling well today.
I'm back, yeah.
In your absence, it sounds like you are surrounded by a lot of people that genuinely care about your well-being, so that's very good.
Oh, Chris, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I was fortunate enough to be able to actually leave the show in the middle of the show, and everybody picked up the slack right away, so I'm very grateful for that.
A good day. Yes, I just don't see how they can justify this free education for all if everybody's not going to have this education. And, it's kind of an unfair deal, but the majority of the people I work with have college educations and have never used one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of these journeyman jobs, you don't even have to go to trade school to have. It's a 2-year on-the-job training, so you're making money. You start out at 80% or so, and then you work your way up after 2 years or so. You're a journeyman making 100% of the wages. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Like, what do all the people who have been paying for college, what do they get out of the system where all of a sudden college becomes free? How does that work? And you don't necessarily get to benefit from not participating in the free education system. If you don't want to go to college, what if you do want to become a tradesman? What if you just are happy with doing a job that doesn't require an education? You want to go to work. You want to, do something that allows you to make a little extra money. All these other people are getting these free educations, and you don't actually benefit from any of that, and you're still paying into it. I mean, the entitlements never stop. Once the ball gets rolling down the hill, it picks up speed. And people become more and more entitled, and you start to point out more and more things that are quote unquote unfair, and it doesn't end. It results in a society where you have people like Cynthia Nixon saying, "I'm a socialist. What's so wrong with the word socialist?" It's like, where do I start with you? How do we look at each other in the eye and say, so socialism about that?
And we're the people that are made out to be these crazy human beings for thinking that the idea of socialism is insane. Mm-hmm. That's exactly your point.
I got to get to this Cynthia Nixon thing, and just I'm going to play this, and we'll react.
Cynthia Nixon's team says office temperatures are notoriously sexist. They requested this debate hall be warmed to 76 degrees, but it's only 69 in here, and I have got the goosebumps to prove it.
I've got the goosebumps to prove it. The office temperature is now sexist. Tony, what do you think? I said it. The irony here is that I'm usually the one in this studio who's turning the air down, because when it's cold in here, it makes me more alert than a warm studio under some lights in the middle of the day when a lot of people want to nod off at work. I have to be like, I'm on it. I'm here. I'm full of energy.
And it just goes to show that there's anything that anybody can tie into making a story or making politics out of, or making a statement.
It's always something.
There's nothing off limits. There's nothing that they won't stretch into some kind of story about something.
Bored? I mean, isn't there so many things going on in this world? Are they that bored now that a talking point is the temperature?
Well, they can explain it. Listen.
Women should know that they're not crazy. It's not all in their head.
CBS News medical contributor Dr. Tara Narula says there is a science behind why women feel colder.
It has to do with thermoregulation and metabolic rate and clothing differences.
A 2015 study found that most office temperatures are set using a 1960s formula that relies on the metabolic rate of an average man. Dr. Narula says men tend to be comfortable with a temperature in the low 70s and women in the mid to high 70s.
Can you imagine making the office temperature 76 degrees? Women, now listen to me. You could put a sweater on. Do you want to be around a bunch of sweaty men all day in the office? I don't think you do. I don't think that's what. I don't think that this social justice crusade is going to turn out the way you expect it to be. I think it's going to smell worse than you think it's going to be.
The sexist thermostats.
Golly, we have my brain hurts thinking about how many cells are just lost.
Mark Close is now officially the most sexist person on the planet.
I wanted to know what Mark Close thought about this. We should have brought him in.
Darn.
You guys can have that in the after 3. But it's like you.
The thermostat at his house is a
very sexist machine.
It's a nightmare.
It's a non-negotiable.
Has Mark Close? Has he talked about the perfect temperature? Does he know? Do you know what it is?
I think he says it's. I think it's a little high, actually. It's like 72, I think, is where he sets
Where is your thermostat set in your home? Do you get to control the thermostat in your home?
Oh, it's a constant battle. It's whoever battle? Walks by it. Every time I walk by it, it goes down. Every time my wife walks by it, goes up.
What do you set it to? Do you know?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, let's just have it out in the open.
Let her rip.
If I can just do whatever I want with it.
You're a grown man.
62.
62? Oh. Man, you must be wealthy. 62?
That's where I'd prefer it to be.
Where does she put it up to? You are a sexist jerk.
She puts it at like 75.
That's me. That's
75.
Me. Oh yeah, love it.
I mean, we find common ground at 70.
70 is the Switzerland of temperatures in your home.
Yeah. And I think 70 isn't 70 the universal.
I have a theory on house temperature at night with children. Mm-hmm. I think that children sleep better when they're cold and cozied up under covers.
I think
it's a very key dad hack to make the house colder at night.
Yes.
Because kids
pull their
cozy up.
Yep.
And if they're hot, they kick, they wake up, and that sucks for everybody.
Yep.
So we are a 67 to go to bed house. But then when I leave the house, I turn it up to 75, and usually
when I leave and it's just going to be the dogs home during the day while we're all at work, it's at 72.
And in an effort to equalize the genders, 76 in the office. I think that would be unbearable.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And 76 in an office with a bunch of other humans?
I would need a sweat rag.
Oh, yeah, I know. It would get hot. The body temperature would just increase, and it would be sweaty and lots of deodorant, I hope.
I hope anyway.
Yes, I hope anyway, but definitely if it got to 67.
You can
76.
never use too much deodorant. If you think to yourself, don't even finish a sentence,
Right.
just do it.
Right.
Right?
If you're questioning it, you should do it.
But to think that the initial, that there was an initial study, how many people who are setting the thermostat at an office are like, well, a study in 1962 said that it needs to be 70 degrees.
Totally.
To blah, blah. Nobody's doing that. They're like, what's comfortable? What makes the least amount of people whine and moan about the office temperature?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where it goes. Good grief. Robert Palmer, take us home.
Come on, Robert.
Jeannie Ives is going to call us in here next. And she was in the Metro East, and she was talking with, she did a press conference with Dwight Kay, and we're going to talk to her coming up next because, listen, the state of Illinois dangling by a thread that is held by one Mike Madigan. Let's diminish his power in the House. Let's take Springfield back from Mike Madigan. Jeannie Ives is going to join us next at Jeannie Ives on Twitter and talk to us about her visit to the Metro East. We'll be back in a moment.
We know school started or is just around the corner. And as a parent, you may already have noticed that may not be the right place for your child. We understand changing schools at this point can sound daunting. But Christian Academy of Greater St. Louis is here for you. The friendly environment is what every parent wants for their child. The academics are phenomenal, not to mention the special attention each student gets from their teachers. And our students will gladly tell you.
Hi, I'm a senior at CA. Last year, our basketball team won the conference and state championship. At CA, they give you plenty of opportunities to become a great leader. The teachers really care, and I can't wait to see you at my school.
Accredited, affordable, private education. Call 314-429-7070 to schedule a tour today. Or go online at cagsl.org. Mention this ad to have a registration fee waived. Call today 314-429-7070 or go online at cagsl.org. Christian Academy of Greater St. Louis. We go beyond.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you can afford to retire? Are you worried that you won't have enough income in retirement to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Are you also wondering how the stock market will affect your current retirement plans? This is Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'd like to show you the kind of income your retirement accounts can provide, whether you're retiring now or even in the next 5 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation financial review. We'll build your own personalized, structured income plan that will show you exactly the type of retirement you can count on. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my best-selling book, The Boomer's Guide to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees achieve a worry-free retirement for 31 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or visit us online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
Head to Mid-America Arms. From firearms to accessories, you won't find a better selection in Mid-America, including guns, rifles, knives, ammo, holsters, cases, and more. From Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Glock, Benelli, Sig Sauer, and others. Ask their no-commission sales assistants about their trade-in policy, transfers, rebates, and info about concealed carry and basic firearms training. Mid-America Arms, 8205 Gravois Road, and at midamericaarms.com. That's midamericaarms.com.
Did you know that some brokers in the St. Louis area charge up to 7% to sell your home? At Straight Realty, we only charge 4%. What can you do with that extra money? Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Last year, Straight Realty sold over $41 million in home sales, saving our clients over $1 million in commissions. Let us help you sell and buy your next home. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
A radio.com station.
His final trip to Washington begins. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Arizona's farewell to Senator John McCain, just finishing with a memorial service in Phoenix that celebrated his life and the people and causes he celebrated. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal with this live.
Lisa, John McCain was remembered by those who knew him as funny, fierce, loyal. Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald said of their unexpected friendship,
"What made Senator McCain so special was that he cared about the substance of my heart, more so than where I came from.
His longtime friend, former Vice President Joe Biden, recalled McCain's days as a prisoner of war, meeting his wife Cindy, and how hard it was to watch political bipartisanship slip away. And yet Biden said McCain never lost faith.
John believed so deeply and so passionately in the soul of America.
As his casket was taken from the church, Frank Sinatra's My Way was played over the speaker system at McCain's request. Lisa.
Thanks, Jessica. A planned pay raise for many federal workers is canceled.
Federal employees across the country were due to get a 2.1% pay raise in January, but President Trump says he's canceling those plans, citing the cost. The president is also canceling locality pay increases that are based on where federal employees live. In a letter to Congress, the president says it's part of an effort to put the nation on a fiscally sustainable course, and federal agency budgets cannot sustain such increases.
Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill, where there was no immediate reaction from Democrats who have frequently criticized the cost of the president's tax cuts. Meantime, a Bloomberg report that President Trump is telling aides he wants to move ahead with $200 billion worth of tariffs on Chinese goods. That's getting much of the blame for a sell-off on Wall Street an hour to the close. The Dow's now down 179. Oil prices topping $70 a barrel. Fox News, fair and balanced.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
97.1 News Time, 2:03. Good afternoon. I'm Tony Colombo. United States Senator Claire McCaskill is seizing on an issue that offers hope in her re-election bid, the financial future of the state's lowest wage earners. The two-term incumbent is campaigning today in St. Louis, where she will celebrate the defeat of a right-to-work measure earlier this month and tout the value of raising the federal minimum wage. A Christopher Columbus statue in a St. Louis park is being called into question about a year after a Confederate monument was removed from another park in the city. A commission will review whether the 130-year-old statue belongs in Tower Grove Park. David Lauber, the park's director of development, says the panel will include historians, art experts, and representatives of Italian Americans and Native Americans in St. Louis. This news update brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best in fences, decks, patios, and sunrooms.
Learning to play the piano isn't easy. Actually, it's incredibly easy with the right piano course. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music, and thousands of people all over St. Louis can play the piano today because of Lacefield Music's adult piano course. In 8 weeks, you'll learn how to read music, play with both your right and left hands, and you'll even be able to play your favorite music like Billy Joel or Elton John. Maybe not fast, but your friends and family will be able to recognize it in only 8 weeks. Lacefield Music's 8-week adult piano course usually costs $100, but right now it's only $29.99. That's right, only $29.99. You can scratch learning to play the piano off your bucket list and impress your friends and family. Classes are forming now for September for both day and evening. South County, St. Charles, and our Illinois locations. What have you got to lose? It's fun, easy, and inexpensive. Go online to lacefieldmusic.com or call 314-974-6801. 314-974-6801.
Hey, you know why thousands of homeowners have had their homes coated with Rhino Shield permanent ceramic coating? To eliminate the hassle and expense of painting year after year after year. With Rhino Shield's 25-year warranty, you coat your home once and you're done, guaranteed. And guys, not only can you scratch painting your home every few years off your honey-do list, Rhino Shield comes in your favorite color, the color that makes your wife happy. Rhino Shield is perfect for wood, brick, stucco, hardy board, steel, and vinyl, And unlike vinyl, Rhino Shield resists mold and mildew. So why wait? Call now for your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Rhino Shield permanent ceramic coating for your home or business. 877-25-RHINO.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield permanent ceramic coating. It's more affordable than you think. Call 877-25-RHINO or visit 877-25rhino.com.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-262-2917. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-262-2917 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-262-2917 to see if you qualify. That's 800-262-2917.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1.
That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So we remember yesterday, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show, when the Florida primary happened and we have a Ron DeSantis for the Republican side for the Florida governor, Andrew Gillum for the Democrat side. And Ron DeSantis made this comment.
The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases.
So Ron DeSantis comes out and says the last thing that the Republicans need to do is monkey this up. It's a phrase that a lot of people will use it in conversation, but anymore, the word monkey is now has racial implications because there are jerks in the world who use that in an inappropriate way. Those are the racist people, and I don't believe that Ron DeSantis happens to be one of those people, but Andrew Gillum responded to that comment.
I don't, however, believe that the congressman was in any way, frankly, trying to back away from what he was suggesting that he was doing, which was, in my opinion, playing a little bit of a race card there. I wish he wouldn't, however, because I think he can be better than that.
I cannot even go there. It's like nothing. You can't have the office temperature be 70 degrees because that's sexist. And you can't have a phrase out there when Ron DeSantis certainly was not making the point. If Ron DeSantis really was racist, he'd be making an effort to make sure you didn't understand that he was racist, or there would be a very sordid history that would have been vetted and put out there in the open, and he would have never been able to get this far. It's ridiculous. That's not what he meant. If he is a racist, out with it. Tell us how he's actually a racist. But you don't get to claim that he's a racist because he used this word this one time. That's ridiculous. And everybody sees through it. Everybody sees through the crap right now. You see success in the economy. You see the policies that are being put into place. And you see the party on the left clinging to anything that they can get their grimy hands around to try to pull us away from the success of Donald Trump. And Andrew Gillum, I don't think that this is going to go anywhere. I just don't see it going anywhere. The conservative policies that have been put into place at a federal level have seen success, and people want more. People certainly want more. And you can look to places like the state of Illinois, and you can see what the Democratic stronghold has done to the state of Illinois, which is why I have my guest on now, Jeannie Ives. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I haven't talked to you in a while, and you were just in the Metro East, and we appreciate you coming on and talking to us today.
Wow, thanks for having me on. That's right. We just left Collinsville, where we did a press conference on pensions.
So I think you were with Dwight K. Is that correct while you were over there?
Yes. Yep. Dwight K. and Brad Hallbrick and Blaine Wilhauer, who's a candidate running out of Effingham.
And the key that I keep telling people over and over again, you ran in the Illinois governor primary. People still don't know what to do when it comes to November on how to cast their vote because, like myself, I don't see somebody on the ballot who I want to put my ex on my ballot next to, and I say they have until November to earn my vote. So that's where I am on the governor race. But where the real power needs to be reconfigured, in my opinion, is in the House and the control that Mike Madigan has over the House. And you were over there with Dwight K., who's running to take a seat back in the 112th district, which happens to be my district. What is your message downstate to these red these folks living in red state Illinois, essentially, on what we can do in November to do something to take the state back?
Well, Annie, you couldn't be more right. I mean, the fight for the success of Illinois, the fight to save your home, the fight to turn things around, save your job, save your pension if you're a state worker, quite frankly, the fight is in the Illinois House. Yeah. You have got to take Mike Madigan out of office. And so every Democrat that goes down there, their first vote, with the exception of one person, their first vote is for Mike Madigan to be Speaker of the House. He sets the tone, the direction, the rules, the bills. He controls it all. And Katie Stewart is a roll call vote for Mike Madigan's agenda. Katie Stewart signed off on an unbalanced budget, $1.2 billion out of balance. I mean, I don't know how else to wake people up. Do you care about your house? Do you care about your income tax just got hiked up 32%? Do you care that East Alton is paying the highest property tax rate in your area at over 4%?
Yeah.
Over 4. That's nearly 4 times more than the national average. I mean, does anybody care about this anymore? The Democrats are just lying to you pathetically. I just saw some of Katie Stewart's literature. I mean, she's talking about the fact that she's for no budget, no pay. That was a Republican bill that Mike Madigan blocked. And yet they want to say that that's what they stand for. They're lying to you with every mail piece, every robocall, everything they say.
And Katie Stewart's a good example of somebody who is in a purple district. Dwight K. has held that seat for some time. He's fighting to get it back for the taxpayers of the 112th district. But Katie Stewart, when you look at her voting record, she votes against a tax increase, but votes for the spending of the tax increase. So then she can go out and say to some people that she's intending to do one thing, when really she gets her. Is it true? This is what I've been told. You work in the House there with her. Mike Madigan tells these people how they're going to vote, and he sets the tone, and they do what he says, essentially.
That's exactly what happens. Mike Madigan saves the legislators that he can save because he's got extra votes to spare when he wants to vote pass a difficult bill, or he's got really complicit idiot Republicans who vote for it instead. And I'm a Republican. I'm telling you, very disappointed in my colleagues who voted for a tax increase and spared Katie Stewart that vote.
Yeah.
But he's got, and it's all a big game. And then she'll go back and say, well, I voted against the tax increase. Well, you just voted for a budget that is a record budget in the state of Illinois, even as we bleed population and businesses. It's a record spending budget, and it relies on the $5 billion tax increase from last year that you got to not vote for. I don't know how to connect dots for people. Yeah. But you have got to vote the Democrats, the House Democrats, out of office so we can finally flip the House. And by the way, Mike Madigan, when he's elected again on November 6th, which he's a shoo-in for election, I mean, he's going to be elected in his small little district with 17,000 voters who vote for him, he will be elected again. By the time he leaves office then, 50 years in office. Wow. 50 years.
Yeah. If you want to look
and
at anything,
Illinois could not be worse.
Consistent in the state of Illinois, and look at the place when right now who's been in power, and I mean that's insane. Decades, that's generations. The one thing when we're speaking with Jeannie Ives is a representative in the Illinois House. She challenged in the primary Governor Rauner, and I contest, and I've said this multiple times since the primary, which was in March, I believe. If this primary would have been held in August, I think you would have won handily. I think there would have been a much different atmosphere around your candidacy. And just to think that you were able to challenge this governor, a Republican governor in the state of Illinois, and come so close. The reason why you came so close is because you told people the truth. And there's this thing in politics where people think they calculate what they think people want to hear. And in this day and age, we want to know the truth. And when we're talking about pensions, which you were talking about with Dwight Kay in Collinsville today, and we're talking about tax increases, the government in the state of Illinois is lying to the taxpayers because they put this tax increase on these taxpayers. They're not even telling the whole truth, and the tax increase doesn't even cover the real truth. What is the truth that you want the Illinois taxpayers to understand, and what's at stake in November?
Well, I want them to understand that your politicians in Springfield have been lying to you about everything, and they are trying to trap you in some sort of emotional argument about women's rights or not funding domestic violence shelters, which is all nonsense. That is all absolute nonsense. We support those same things too. It's just that they are trying to pretend that certain votes that are for businesses, that allow businesses to stay in this state, are necessarily anti-women. It's not true. They're trying to grab you on emotion rather than facts, and it's so hard to get past that clutter. But the truth is that we have a fiscal disaster ensuing in the state of Illinois. Your property is being taken from you. You can't sell your property. When you go to sell it, it's worth significantly less because people are weighing the enormous property taxes that are on that house, and you are literally losing your largest investment. I mean, if you're not going to save your home and wake up, I don't know what to do. Let me give you a local example. East Alton, Illinois. They just had an administrator, I believe his name is Michael Gray, retired after 34 years of service, 56 years old. His starting pension is $121,000. He's sitting on a $4 million pension for being an administrator of a school district that only has 850 kids, only 2 elementary schools, by the way, an elementary and a middle school, and only those kids in that school are only 23% of them are at grade level. Wow. And we tolerate this. We tolerate this by not voting the Democrats out of office and the other bad Republicans who also go along with the public sector unions in education, quite frankly. We don't vote them out of office and put in new blood.
Yeah.
And we're not having serious policy discussions, which is, Pritzker and Rauner are not talking about the serious policy issues, which is what we try to do in my primary.
Yeah, absolutely. What they're doing is they're spending copious amounts of money to get elected, to buy votes. Nobody is talking about the actual issues. Nobody's talking about the truth. The question that I get the most in my position here, or just, in general at home when I'm going to the grocery store or talking to people at a barbecue or something, is what can we do about it? The scariest thing about Illinois is that there are a lot of people who think it is actually hopeless. Are you at the point where this is hopeless, or is there a modicum of hope that you can give to taxpayers in the state of Illinois to possibly make something better?
There's always hope. I mean, there is always hope, and certainly I believe that, like, my primary show, that there's certainly hope. At the same time, I didn't make it through in a Republican primary. So what you understand is that it takes an enormous amount of money to get out your message and connect dots for folks. And it's a tiresome process. I mean, it's exhausting to go around the state and try and wake people up and connect dots. But we're willing to do that. And I honestly think that the Illinoisans are still practical Midwesterners, and when the facts are out there, that they will react to the facts in a way that it will be reform-oriented. And that includes public sector workers who, honestly, many of them do yeoman's work, working with our developmentally disabled, working in our schools, working in our prisons. Many of them want to do the right things. The problem we have in Illinois is a leadership problem. Will you vote out the leadership? And to vote out the leadership, you have to change how the politicians in Springfield.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Jeannie, people want to know what you're going to do next. I want to know what you're going to do next. You're
I do too. I haven't decided.
I'm
just looking forward to Friday night football.
Yeah.
Right now.
How many kids do you have?
I have 5. I have 2 at home right now, a senior in high school and a freshman in high school.
And you're a West Point grad and you've been in the house. And if people ever want to get a little bit of stress and frustration off their chest when it comes to the state of Illinois, go look up Jeannie Ives on the house floor and just, it's like therapy. You're like, she's pissed and I'm pissed. And this is what I need to hear. It's good to hear somebody, taking it to the people who just seem to be blind to the problems that we're all facing, because the truth is, I get asked this all the time, why don't you just leave? It's because Illinois is my home and it's worth fighting for. And Jeannie, you are the one person this year that has shown me that there are other people out there who want to fight for it and are willing to fight for it. And we're grateful to you. And we appreciate you coming to the Metro East and helping Dwight K. and the rest of the folks out here who are trying to put Madigan in his place.
Maybe you can entice those two into a debate and people can really get a comparison between who they want representing them. I think that we need more of that discussion going on as well.
I'll moderate it.
Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Yeah,
good.
We'll do it right here, noon to 3. They name the day. I'll make the room for it, Jeannie. I appreciate that suggestion. We'll make it happen.
All right,
Jeannie. Thank you so much. We appreciate having you on.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
She's available at Jeannie Ives on Twitter and JeannieIves.org. And I'm telling you what, the frustration that exists in the state of Illinois is real. Oftentimes it feels hopeless, but the truth is that if you're looking for someone to come save the state of Illinois, they're not going to do it for you. It really comes down to you. It really comes down to your ability to know who is your representative, to know who is your state senator, and call them. I'm not going to tell you to like Maxine Waters their, lifestyle, but they have offices, they have phone numbers, they have email addresses. Contact these people at their place of business, tweet at them, whatever it might be, hold them accountable and do it for your home. It's the state of Illinois. It's a fantastic state, but it's being held hostage by the likes of 50-year career politician Mike Madigan. Look no further. That is the heart of the problem. And we have districts right on the east side of the river that can minimize his power in Springfield, and it is up to you and me. That's simple. It's not understated. It's up to you and me. Jeannie Ives, great to have her on the show, JeannieIves.org. We'll be right back. 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or 866-455-9797 on Twitter, at Annie Frey Show. And go like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. We're trying to collect all the likes that we can. I'm a millennial. I like likes and thumbs ups and stuff. Is that what I'm supposed to say? I don't know. We'll be right back with your phone calls.
Farmers plow, wishes go up and the world
This is the Annie Frey Show.
And
Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
it just comes natural.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling presents the 97.1 Salute to Service. 99% of Americans wake up and enjoy freedom. Only 1% wake up and defend it. Join us as we celebrate the 1% and highlight the impact of the servicemen and women in our community. We'll explore stories of active military and veterans told by the heroes themselves and the people behind them. Right now, you can nominate yourself, friend, or family member to receive the 97.1 Salute to Service. Get all the details at 971talk.com/salute.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
The folks at the Diamond Shop are welcoming you with open arms to come check out their stock liquidation sale, which is going on right now. I was in there visiting with them and looking at all this beautiful jewelry, and there's something in every category that is available for 60 to 70% off. These are fantastic savings, and if you're looking for something for a simple gift, maybe a nice little surprise, maybe you're looking for something for yourself. I bought myself this beautiful rose gold chain, a very simple chain with this little circle, rose gold circle that goes around it. It's very simple. I wear it every day, and it's under $100. If you're looking for something like maybe a ring, Now is the time to get in there and look at the inventory that they have. Sit down with Mona and Tom and Nikki and the wonderful folks there. They're going to treat you like royalty. They don't care if you're coming in to spend $20 or $2,000 or $20,000. They are going to treat you with the respect and help you answer the questions that you have to make a purchase that you're going to absolutely love. They are located at Central Avenue in Clayton. They've got free parking in the back. Get in there right now so you can get the best selection, because once it's gone, it's gone. 60 to 70% off the stock liquidation sale at the Diamond Shop, online at thediamondshop.net.
Summer means savage savings at Tactical in St. Peter's. Right now, get a free Ballistic Advantage barrel with any complete AR-15 upper build. Or get a free Hollow Sun optic with any complete AR upper and lower build. Tactical in St. Peter's.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. It's fast and easy and the best way to check your credit score and continuous monitoring. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Frederick Roofing, wherever you live, from Alton to Afton to Collinsville to Cottleville, Clayton to Creve Coeur, your city and more. Webster to Wildwood, the one you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof, or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
645-2000. Frederick is the gold standard for roofing, and perhaps priced a bit lower than other bonded and insured roofers. When you invest money into fixing a hole in your roof or putting on a whole new roof, you want the peace of mind that you'll get only with Frederick Roofing. Plus, you can always depend on an immaculate cleanup when the job has been completed by Frederick's own licensed and insured crews.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
If you have retirement questions, you can bet Marvin Mitchell probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1 for Rethinking Retirement. With his years of experience, Marvin can help take the guesswork out of your retirement planning. Rethinking Retirement is your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Don't miss Rethinking Retirement with Marvin Mitchell every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1.
Missouri Healthcare Hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling about my health insurance.
Well, that's what we're here for, ma'am.
Well, I've got type 1 diabetes. If I had to change insurance policies, I'd be really worried.
Yes, that's true of you and 2.5 million other Missourians with pre-existing conditions.
Then what's this I've heard about Missouri's Attorney General, Josh Hawley?
Well, Josh Hawley just filed a lawsuit to allow insurance companies to deny coverage to those with pre-existing conditions.
Why would he do that?
Well, I'm not a mind reader, but it's a fact that the insurance industry could benefit by Hawley's action.
Sounds like if Josh Hawley wins his lawsuit, people like me will lose. Is there anything we can do?
Well, yes, you can call Josh Hawley's office at 573-751-3321 and tell him to drop his lawsuit right now.
Well, thank you.
Have a nice day. Paid for by Majority Forward.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Come away, if you're going. Leave the sinking ship behind.
Find the podcast on demand and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Bring a song and a smile for the banjo. Better get wild and get good. Hit your ride to the end of the highway where the neon's trying to wood. Come on to ride.
Welcome back. 314-241-9797 if you'd like to call in the show and discuss anything that we've talked about today, including the Robert Palmer commercial, which we had a couple messages about it. I did not know that one of the women was Robert Palmer's wife. First of all, did you know that?
Oh, you know what? Now that you say that, I think I do remember that, but I didn't remember that off the top of my head.
And then we had another message from someone who said, I think it's Diet Coke. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a second. I think it was Diet Coke, too.
No, it was Pepsi.
But I wonder if maybe Diet Coke did a commercial.
I opened my Pepsi.
Yeah, no joke. Your jug of Pepsi.
Jug,
he's got to use
gallon.
2 hands to drink that thing. I Diet Coke sounded right to me, too.
It's 1.5 liters.
But it's clearly Pepsi. So I don't know. I don't know what Diet Coke was doing to make me and this other messenger think that. But yeah. You remember that story we covered a while back that was about the New Mexico compound? It was that little thing where they were training people to be school shooters.
Yeah, that little thing.
That nobody's talking about. There's no information on it. Except for today, we have some news about the charges they're not sticking. What?
Yeah, this story is exceedingly frustrating and hard to discuss. 3 suspects tied to a New Mexico compound where alleged Muslim extremists were training children to be school shooters were released from custody on Wednesday, hours after a judge dismissed all of the charges against them. District Judge Emilio Chavez dismissed the charges against the defendants, ruling that authorities violated the state's 10-day rule. Child abuse charges against them were dropped because prosecutors missed the 10-day limit.
What about the dead kid?
Yes.
There was a dead child that apparently had some sort of mental disorder that the father kidnapped him and then tried to exorcise out of him or something. There's a dead child.
Yeah.
You don't have an answer? I'm outraged.
What's the answer?
10-day limit, 10-day rule.
It's ridiculous.
Authorities missed the 10-day rule.
Mike, thanks for calling the show.
Hi, Annie. Hi, Tony. How you doing this morning? Or this afternoon?
Hello. We're good. How are you? I'm a little outraged.
We're mad.
I'm frustrated about this story because that's exactly why I was calling. I'm a retired sergeant first class in the United States Army, served in Iraq, and the very instance that this story came up, my blood was boiling because I cannot believe, first of all, that this compound was even allowed to exist at all. And second of all, I heard that it had to be the local authorities that moved on this.
Mm-hmm.
And why wasn't the feds all over this from the get-go?
This is a really good question.
Great question.
I mean, I didn't leave my family and have my friends get shot to have terrorists set up camp in our own borders. This is ridiculous.
I agree. Thank you for your service. I mean, it's shocking. I'm reading this story, and I feel like I'm reading a 4-page story that I only have 3 pages of. Like, there's something that is completely missing that I'm stupid to because I don't have all the information. But when you look at the details of the story, it's like, why is this not getting A, more attention, and B, why are we not being more cautious about these individuals?
Just a reminder.
Yeah, the way I understand it, this guy who was the leader also has ties to the blind sheikh who is responsible for the 19.
It's like the son or something, son or grandson or nephew or something, a family relation. What were you going to say, Tony?
I was just going to remind folks of how disgusting this story was. So when the authorities were called to this compound, they were called under the opinion that the occupants of the compound were most likely heavily armed and considered extremists of the Muslim belief. The sheriff's deputies discovered 11 children at the compound who were taken into custody by state child welfare workers. A child's remains were found on the property. One of the suspects was allegedly training children to commit school shootings, according to prosecutors who later alleged that the juveniles were taught how to use firearms as well as tactical techniques in order to kill teachers, law enforcement, and other institutions they found corrupt. Health officials confirmed earlier this month that they discovered remains the discovered remains were positively identified as the 3-year-old of one of the suspects.
Insane. Mike, I think you're exactly right. I want to know why the federal government hasn't been involved in this and is providing a little more information on what actually was the intent specifically of that location. And for you to be, your point is well heard, for you to have gone elsewhere to protect people from this, and to see this appearing to be homegrown, it's got to be very frustrating for you.
It's extremely frustrating, and need to ask Taliban, too, because when he answered the phone, he said that the charges had been reinstated. So I don't know if something happened offline where you guys didn't know about that, but if you could,
we'll check it out.
Verify that, appreciate it.
Prosecutors can still seek charges for the three by asking a grand jury to indict them.
Okay.
So,
hey, Mike, thank you for the call.
That's what he's talking about.
Thank you.
We appreciate you and your service.
The judge said it was a very difficult decision to drop the charges, but this 10-day rule left him no option. There's got to at some point there's got to be common sense that kicks in. I'm sure that rule was put in place for a good reason.
Yeah, for a different reason, but
yeah, in a different reason. Exactly.
To me, it sounds like one of those things that you have to observe it, because if something else is going to come after that, you don't want to lose your footing, your legal footing, because let's just tie this in to the Russia collusion story. If the whole Russia collusion mystique was centered around the idea of this Steele dossier, which is corrupt at its very core, you might have heard this term, fruit of the poison tree, where the initial foundation of these charges was false. So everything that comes after that is fruit of the poison tree, and it's all, out. You can't talk about it. If they don't proceed accordingly with this case, potentially they could lose ground to charge them in the future. But what I want to see is, all charges are dropped, and bam, there's the new charges that are coming in from whoever.
Well, the problem with that is, okay, you can ask a grand jury to indict them, but they've been released. So now you got to go find them again.
Does it say anything about tracking them? Are they because they're not, if they were...
Nothing. It doesn't say anything about that. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it, but maybe.
This one sounds like an easy one, folks. I don't understand why it's complicated. Hopefully, we're paying the amount of attention to that that it deserves. Katie, let's try to get the reporter from New Mexico that we had on, the local reporter, just to see what they're hearing and discussing on the ground there, because certainly they're not going to be any less interested as the days go by as maybe the 10-second attention span of the country. I remember how mad
I was when there was a delay in charges being filed against the guy in Florissant a few months ago that shot somebody at 4:30 in the afternoon at a sports bar in Florissant, and charges were not immediately brought by Bob McCullough, so the Florissant Police Department was forced to release him. And I remember how mad I was that this guy who had just shot somebody at 4:30 in the afternoon at a sports bar was walking around my hometown again.
Like, what is up?
In New Mexico, if you're living in New Mexico,
they're preying upon children,
and they just released these three. I mean, I would love to hear what that person has to say down there. Like, what's their reaction?
If they are teaching kids how to shoot guns, that's not illegal. There are lots of people who teach their children how to shoot guns. But the circumstances with which these children were being raised, the reason why they were found out is because they were texting out to people, we're starving, we have no food, we have no money. They were holding these children in this place, and the intent with which they were teaching them how to use weapons. Does that not matter? Does it not matter that there is a 3-year-old's body that was found in this compound? What the heck is going on here?
Training tactical techniques in order to kill teachers, law enforcement, and other institutions that they determined to be corrupt.
We're taking a break because I want to say things I can't say. 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or 866-455-9797. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show. Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
82 for the high this afternoon. Tonight, mainly in the 70s for any evening plans. 68 will do it for the low. Friday, just a slight risk of a spot thunderstorm. 89, still a pretty good day on Friday, but it's all about summer for the long holiday weekend. Hot and humid with a couple of pop afternoon thunderstorms. 92 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show, live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Don't think you can afford a new heating and cooling system? You can with 0% financing for 24 to 72 months on select heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The thing about personal safety and protection is so important when you are out and about, to be aware of your surroundings, to know who is, in your area, who knows who's coming and who's going inside of your environment. You need to be equipped with the knowledge to protect yourself, to be confident in your ability to be safe. And especially if you're like me, if you're a mama and you've got your kids in tow from time to time, you want to make sure that you can secure their safety as much, if not likely more, than your own. That's why I want to tell you about the folks at the Range St. Louis West. They're located at 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin, across from Vlasis Park. Ron and John there run a fantastic place. It's absolutely a cut above the rest. If you're looking to gain knowledge, if you're looking to potentially make a purchase that will secure your own personal safety, you have to check out the folks at the Range St. Louis West. They will be knowledgeable. They come from current and former law enforcement, the staff there, and they will be able to tell you all of the things that you need to know, answer all the questions that you have, and make you confident in your ability to protect yourself. It's the Range St. Louis West, located at 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin, across from Vlasis Park, online at therangestl.com.
Get ready for Diamonds Direct's most incredible offer ever. Starting this Saturday, get the guaranteed lowest price, pay zero down, and get zero interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, 5 years, zero interest on any purchase. So a $6,000 engagement ring is yours for as low as $100 a month. Don't miss this spectacular buying opportunity. Everything's included, and you can finance up to 100% of the purchase, including the tax. It starts this Saturday, only at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit, get details and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
I can't believe what Diamonds Direct is doing starting this Saturday. For a limited time on any purchase, you can get 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down. You heard that right. Buy now, get the guaranteed best price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 5 years without a dime in interest. So a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $50 a month, and everything's included, from engagement rings to all designer jewelry. The best offer ever, starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit, details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Hi, I'm Steve All of the All Financial Group. We often talk about how to get you to the retirement finish line, but there's another finish line we're focusing on this fall. At the All Financial Group, we're a proud sponsor of the 2018 St. Jude Walk Run to End Childhood Cancer. The children of St. Jude were my inspiration as I completed my very first marathon. Their stories helped give me strength on even the toughest training days. St. Jude has helped push the overall survival rate for childhood cancer to 80% today. But they won't stop until no child dies from cancer. Let's help them get to the finish line. Join me at the starting line on Saturday, September the 22nd at the St. Louis Arch Grounds in honor of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Or make a donation and find out more about joining the team at steveall.com. That's STEVEAUL.com.
Guys, Glover here for my very good friends at Window World. Man, these guys have been with me for a long time, and I am so proud and privileged to represent them. Every year we get together, usually once a year. A couple good North County boys own the Window World here in town, and I say, who's your big competition? And this latest time they looked at each other and smiled, and they said, Dave, we really don't have a lot of competition. The guys, the solo guys riding around in their truck, God love them, with a magnetic sign on the side of their pickup, but no big companies, because we're just that good. Whatever rating agency you go to, they're just so highly rated. They are absolutely dedicated to customer service. They do these fantastic replacement windows. They're so durable, you can actually stand on them. That's one of the kind of little gimmicks that they have. So call them. Make sure you mention me to get the very best of everything. 314-993-1800 or windowworldstl.com. 314-993-1800.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Friday, we're not monkeying around. We've got Hans von Spakovsky on the Kavanaugh hearings. We'll talk to Kayleigh McEnany, and it's Annie Friday.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1.
They say in heaven, love comes first. We'll make heaven a place on earth. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
No, I didn't hear it. Honestly, yeah, I didn't hear that, Jim. I mean, I've been actually working on the deal with Canada, so I have not heard it. I tell you what, I know Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is extraordinary. Harvard, Yale, brilliant. Ran an incredible campaign.
Donald Trump there talking about Ron DeSantis. And I've been getting some messages. If you didn't know this, if you like the Facebook page, you can message me your thoughts. People are messaging me their thoughts. Katie, you've been reading some of them too.
Yes, they are.
Some people suggesting that possibly Ron DeSantis is more racist than we might have known to begin with. I promise you, if that is the case, we will not stop talking about it until November. It will be out there. Everything we can do to avoid talking about actual issues that face taxpayers and voters come November. To me, as soon as you start the diversion into talking about things or making the story of the campaign about things like that, unless it's true. Okay, if I'm going to be the first one to say, if it turns out that Ron DeSantis is the most racist person ever, or even obviously a racist, I'm going to say, peace, dude. I don't want to deal with you. I'm not going to defend you and your racist tendencies. Let's remember, racism is real. Racism exists, and when we use it as a political trump card, we water down the actual racist jerks that actually exist. And that's a bad thing. Same thing when it comes to sexism.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was just going to say. You're so right. What hurts the Me Too movement and hurts women and men that have been victims of sexual harassment, sexual assault, is when somebody comes out and makes accusations against a person falsely that they are.
It hurts everybody.
It makes the next person. It makes it more difficult for the next true victim of sexual assault or sexual harassment to come out because they're afraid they're going to be labeled as a liar because other people has happened, and it's the same thing with people throwing around the race card. When you start labeling everybody a racist, if
everyone's a racist, no one's a racist.
You do some investigation, you realize this person's not racist at all, and these guys are. Well, the next time that they call somebody a racist, it's going to be harder for them to be believed or proved because, yes, that exact thing. I don't know if you heard the piece of sound from Obama that's going around from 2008.
We talked about it,
where he said that he was talking about elections, and he said it's not just Republic. He was talking about elections and messing around with elections, and he was like, in a moment of being honest, he said, "Look, it's not just Republicans that have monkeyed around with our elections. Democrats have done it too." That was Barack Obama who said monkeyed around with elections.
And is it not racist?
Is Barack Obama racist? Because if Ron DeSantis is racist, then Barack Obama is racist.
If the word is racist to use, in a context other than, hi, I'm at the zoo and I am looking at a monkey at the zoo, the actual animal that is a monkey. If the word monkeying around, it's a phrase, you might not like the phrase. I might actually meet you in the middle and say, it's unfortunate that that's the way it came out. But let's get to the root of the issue here. Is Ron DeSantis a racist person or not? And I don't believe that he is. And I think that making this, let me just play for you again. Andrew Gillum responding to DeSantis yesterday, saying that the Republicans need to not monkey around in this election.
I don't, however, believe that the congressman was in any way frankly, trying to back away from what he was suggesting that he was doing, which was, in my opinion, playing a little bit of a race card there. I wish he wouldn't, however, because I think he can be better than that.
It makes me so mad. Because here's the thing. The people of Florida have to understand, and they do, the people of Florida understand how valuable they are in the context of national elections. Everybody wants to know what Florida is going to do. Florida is one of the key states in every national election. And when it goes to this nonsense, people lose interest in the issues. Nobody is talking about issues anymore. Everything is a sideshow. Everything is a circus. What are the Democrats talking about right now as a party? One unifying message, and I'm talking about unifying message that you would hear every Democrat running for office stumping for. I don't know what it is. The most prominent one that you hear is everything that has to do with socialism. But then you hear other Democrats going, yeah, not so much. But they don't want to bring it up because they don't want to seem like they're at odds with each other. And then you say the Republican Party, and they go scoreboard, look at the economy. It's just like out of control, booming. And I would say to the Republicans, all right, you did the first part, now do the second part. Cut spending. You should have probably cut spending first, but you probably never would have had another opportunity to pass tax reform because cutting spending hurts. Nobody wants to talk about cutting spending. You have to retract these handouts in many cases that you've been given. And we saw today, President Trump has rolled back the 2019 pay raises for federal employees, which I think was supposed to be 2.1%. And he said, yeah, no, sorry.
Good.
It's spending cuts. And you know, you listen to Jeannie Ives talk about it, and you hear her talk about the spending that is taking place in the state of Illinois. And these pensions, you got somebody who's retiring in East Dalton who's going to be making a 6-figure pension like right now. Holy crap, that's ridiculous. And then you've got people who are, you know, paying into the system right now as teachers, as law enforcement, and they're saying, is there going to be anything left when I get there? If you don't talk about the issues, if you don't reform the system, no, there's not. And it's very similar to Social Security. If you're 34 and working, and you've been working since you were 16 years old and could drive your 1991 Ford Probe to PK's in Edwardsville to bus tables for $3 an hour, you've been paying into Social Security. So I've been paying in for 19 years, almost 19 years now. I don't even know what's going to be left for me. You have to do something to reform the system. There is not an unlimited amount of money. You have to do what you have to do to make our country strong. You talk about national security issues, owing other people so much money. Nobody wants to talk about it. And everybody will campaign on we need to, you know, get our budget in line. And then they get there and then they're too afraid to do it because they think if they cut spending from somebody, they're going to get bombarded with some sort of lobby that's going to spend millions and millions of dollars to make sure they get out of office so they can get their lackey in who's going to protect those specific interests. Who's looking out for the taxpayer? In the state of Florida, they're looking at governors who are fighting over the word monkeying around. That's not what the folks in Florida need. In the state of Illinois, my home state, no one's even talking about that race because they look at it and they go, lost cause. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
You can't say Ron DeSantis used a racist dog whistle, which is exactly what they said. It was, by using that word, it was a racist dog whistle and not say that when Barack Obama said this quote, 2008, September 3rd, 2008, I come from Chicago, it's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too. If it's a racist dog whistle when Ron DeSantis says it, it's a racist dog whistle when Barack Obama says it. The truth is that neither one of them
meant anything by
it. Any race behind what they were saying. They were saying stop screwing with elections.
As a culture, we need to chill the flip out and stop being so aggressive at taking people down for these things that don't matter. Folks, in my opinion, as a conservative, I look at what the left has to offer. Lots of things to criticize when it comes to the policies of the liberal American progressive Democrat in this country. Lots to talk about there. Democrats, I would think, especially from some of you that have called in this show, especially the really nice ones who say they disagree with me, and that's fine. I love your phone calls. When you call in and you say that you want universal health care and you want to make sure, we can talk about that. We can talk about the merits of pooling our money, our hard-earned dollars, and making it a federally or state-funded subsidy that people get health care. We could discuss the benefits and the drawbacks of that. But this is where we lose our souls as Americans. When we do these slap fights that don't actually result in anything other than a lot of red cheeks. It's very frustrating to watch. I'm really hoping that the Dave Glover Show talks about sexist thermostats. I'm really hoping that I get to hear what the folks
It's
on the Dave
about
Glover
to go into, watch when Close walks in here and he puts it at 50.
What?
It's about
a
to happen.
sexist.
I know, right? About to happen.
Mark Close. I'm counting on you. Dave Glover Show coming up next. Check out the podcast at radio.com. You can hear Jeannie Ives. You can hear the folks from Fox Sports Midwest and Corey Malone. It's all there at radio.com. Stay tuned. Dave Glover Show next.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Close for Brinton Vision. My lovely bride, Fern, of some 36 years, has had some vision problems for a while now. Kind of dull vision, some blurry stuff, couldn't see distances. So we started doing our homework, and we found Dr. Brinton. Fern went in, had a procedure done. She had a lens implant, okay? Dr. Brinton does 7 different procedures, LASIK and 6 others, all FDA approved. Fern went in, I think I told you, a 20-minute procedure. She came out and she was seeing things that she had literally never seen before. She'll go into our backyard. We've been in this house 3 years, and she'll start looking. I never really noticed that. I didn't notice that. Dr. Brinton is great. He will sit down with you and explain everything. No question is off. Anything you need. In fact, he'll say, if anything comes up after the meeting, please call me, ask the question. I want you to feel very secure about this. This is your site. BrintonVision.com. Call 314-375-2020.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Yes, you. You're well beyond becoming an astronaut or football star. So, what do you want to be? I'll tell you, retired. But just like becoming an astronaut or professional athlete, that takes years of hard work. It takes experts and coaches to help you do it right and get you to where you want to be. Heisey Advisory Group helps families get to where they want to be. Retirement planning is our specialty, and we want to help coach you to achieve your retirement dreams. Call us today at 314-328-4400 and get your retirement roadmap review. That's 314-328-4400. Don't you want to retire when you grow up? Call 314-328-4400.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AEWM and Heisey Advisory Group are not affiliated companies.
Stop